Right? Kicking. Those was good. All right, chat. Let me know. Are we live, chat? Are we kicking it? Are we rocking? I know there's like a little bit of delay when this thing starts. Oh, we're gonna have a wonderful podcast. I think Jay Barr is supposed to show up for a little bit. You know, I want everybody's thoughts and stuff like that. But all right. Here we go. And yeah, I think we good. All right, welcome my friends, my family, my fellow gamers. Your only friend these YouTube streets, Puerto77. As you can see, we have a huge panel today. Let me make this window. Let me put the full screen on. You see, we got a full house today. All right. Oh man, it's a great day, right? It's a great day. We're gonna get into it. We're gonna go through. We got pretty much the topic is the PS5 Pro, right? And I guarantee this topic is gonna be all night because there's already a lot of salt. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of craziness. So we're just gonna go through the room real quick, announce to people, spend like 30 seconds. We'll start with Craig Harris. Yo, Craig, what's going on?
Hey,
good. Next, we got Extreme. No, I'm playing.
Glad to be here.
All right.
We got a packed panel, so
we got packed panel.
Sounding good, and
right.
college football's on, professional football's on. I'm 1-0 in fantasy, so yeah, good. It's been a good week. So.
Awesome. Good to have you. Thanks. You can't wait to get your opinions on this one. All right, Extreme. What's going on, my brother? Look at that. Look at all this nice. Look at all the nice. You got the nice simplicity. All right, you got the nice simplicity going. All right, move forward. Told you. Hey, we both agreed. We both agreed. We both agreed. Right, if 500 or less, we both were like.
I said 700.
You said 700. That was good. That was. I said 650.
I want to say, I was the one that said this will not come under $800 for the full PlayStation 5 Pro.
You redeem yourself.
When you add the disk drive, when you add your taxes. You pay over $800, like I told you.
Listen,
I told you so.
Listen, after breakdancing and Concord, you redeemed yourself. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. All right. We got. All right. We got the truth over here, my brother.
Yeah. You know, made him. I mean, I was absolutely wrong about Concord. Let's move on.
All right. All right. We got J-Dub. I think he's on call with Herman Holz. He's muted. Let's see. Is he answer back? Nope, he's on the call. But hey, J-Dub said, you know, if he's muted, it's because he's on a call here and there. So, all right. We got Project Cloud. He's the one in the red. He came back.
Sure do.
He said this gen was dog shit. He ain't coming back to this podcast until the Pro comes out, and he kept his promise.
Well, that wasn't true. I'm not sure that was true either.
Listen, just flow with it. It sounds great.
Hard pass. But PS5 Pro, finally a reality. I trusted Tom Henderson's reporting, gave him the benefit of the doubt.
And you won.
And I suggest we do more of that in life.
No. We're always going to be negative. That's what catches engagement, negativity.
Well, there you go. See, are we after views or are we after the truth?
Yeah, we're after true fish views.
hence, you know, falsehood. But anyway,
no, but good point. Hey, to be fair,
negativity obviously will.
To be fair,
you know, push them through.
Yeah, to be fair, first the Slim with the removable disc, I was like, oh, okay, all right. But once I saw the Portal was real, I was like, all right, PS5 Pro is real, because who the hell called out the Portal? That's not something like you generally see, you know. But it worked out, all right. And then we got the judge. The judge is up in here.
Hey, how's it going, everyone?
What's going on, my brother? How's everything?
Man, everything is good, man. Oh my goodness. I'll say this. I was wrong. I remember a podcast from like December or November of 2023. And when you asked that question, I said, nah, the PS5 Pro ain't real. I got to eat my words.
Oh, shit. That's right. Okay. You know what? Nope. I don't think any of us remembered. Because there's just so much information, but I'm glad you the man. You kept to your word. That's good shit. That's what we do here. That's why this podcast is 60 frames no lag. We got Project Cloud. He's gonna talk his shit. He's been like, I told you Tom Henderson was right, because we did go at you, Project. Believe me, I'm not gonna lie. We did went after you.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We beat you down pretty good. All now. Right. Now we look stupid. You know what I'm saying? Hey, all I could do is apologize. You were right.
You know, like I've said, I think
you remember Extreme? We went at him hard too.
We
remember. I was there. You know, I was the leader of the band. I'm like, beat this guy down. Tom Henderson sucks. I got it. And you guess what? You held the line. And now we handing you your flowers. Everybody's handing you your flowers here.
And I think all the reasons that were given for it not to exist, they're honestly the right reasons for it to not exist. But I think it was also saying, but they're going to give it to you anyway. I think that's exactly what we got this year.
Yeah, you're going to get it.
Obviously, it's going to come out in November here, but that's what they announced. It's not for everyone. It's for a premium consumer.
That's what Chocolate Thunder says. You're going to give it to you anyway.
Oh, man, already, bro. Already this channel's getting flagged. All right. Hey, I want to kick it off with the chat. We already got 254 videos. Listen, the topic is the Pro because nothing else matters, right? This topic alone is going to spread with a whole bunch, all right? It's going to go into PC solved. We got PC guys crying. We got Nintendo guys crying. Like, why is Nintendo fans in the conversation? But we're going to talk about it and stuff. Hopefully, Jay Barry will stop by for a little feud to give his 2 pieces, stuff like that. Whatever. All right. But we're going to kick off first. Let me knock out the super chats because, like, damn, we got super chats before the podcast started. We're going to start out with Roman Knight. Thank you so much for the super chat. He says, can't wait to upgrade day one purchase. Listen, a lot of us are. But what I mean by a lot of us is the enthusiasts. Right? And we're going to talk about this because people are acting like this is like a whole new console launch. They're bringing up Switch 2. Like, okay, this is weird, but we're going to talk about it. We got Victory. You know what's an appropriate name, right? Thank you for the $10 super chat, Victory. Victory says, if people thought base PS4 was valuable enough to pay $700 to $800 to scalpers instead of waiting for availability, that $700 for an optional upgrade is more than worth it. This will sell out. I think initially will sell out. That's a good point, but I think it will taper off because, again, I think a lot of people are very content with the PS5. That's the thing. PS5 is a great console. Even with this Pro coming out, you can't beat the value, especially a 400 digital, especially if you get it for 350. A 350 all digital, you can't beat that. That overall is like the best bang for the buck gaming hardware out there, period. So thank you so much, Victory. Appreciate you coming through. And then we got Vito, DD Vito. Bots can say what they want, but the PS5 Pro will be running Xbox Studios games better than the actual Xbox. Absolute facts. Oh. And what people don't realize is, at a certain point, Sony mandates that when they create new hardware, you have to take advantage of it. Now, the previous games, they could patch what they want. But going forward, you gotta take advantage of it. If you want to be published on PlayStation, you got to take advantage of the Pro. That means Indiana Jones. That means Doom Eternal, right? No, the Demon. So what's Doom what? What's the new Doom that's coming out? It's not Eternal. It's Dark Ages. Doom Dark Ages. Doom Dark and Ages. Any other game that Microsoft plans to launch on PlayStation 5 going forward, it's going to have Pro enhancement. And guess what? Not only are they not going to care, not only are they not going to care, Phil Spencer's, I'm surprised he haven't sent his congratulatory tweet yet. You know, I guarantee, you know what? I won't be surprised when the console launches, he's going to send that tweet. Congratulations, PlayStation, on the launch of the PS5 Pro. Very great hardware. You're pushing the industry forward. I can't wait to show you my Xbox games on this thing. Watch! I wouldn't be surprised if he does that. It's going to be absolutely hilarious. But, hey, we already got 300 people here, right? So, obviously, everybody wants to know. Listen, guys, this is 60 frames, no lag. You know, and, hey, if there's any Xbox dudes or PC dudes that want to put their 2 cents, this is the day to do it. Just come on in. Hit me up in the chat so I can see. Hit me up in the DM on Twitter. I'll give you the link. We all about it. Right? Don't be hiding and crying on the internet. Oh, these cucks. You allow. You got a free invite. It's open mic night. All right? Chat. If you see anybody talking shit, let them know. Tell them, hey, hit up Porter Rock. He'll send you a link. Talk your shit live on the air. All right? That's everybody. We bleed green. I don't care who you are. Come up here. Yeah? Say your piece. You say, all right, check my DM. All right? But anyway, we're going to kick it off like this. We got a poll. Make sure you, vote in the poll so we can we see where the community's at least this tiny community. Enjoy the conversation. Hit the like button, please, if you're already here. All right? And share this out. We got a great topic. We're going to do it, okay? We're going to kick off with the truth because he can't be here too long. So he got stuff he wants to say. He wants to say some stuff. We're going to see what he do. So, truth, spit your bars. What you got to say?
Yeah, so I'm going to keep it simple. I'm actually going to make a long-standing video on this, but I wanted to keep it simple here. I'm not coming from I'm not doing no fanboy warring or none of that right now. I just wanted to say it's simple. I know A lot of people had issues with it. I think the biggest issue that I have, and while I'm not interested in it as of right now and may get it later, is I don't think that presentation was good at all. Like, I know Mark Cerny can be boring and he does his talk, and I know they tried it. To me, that I think they put it together better than his normal long, drawn-out talks that he usually does, where people can get bored and want to fall asleep. But like, you could see the difference and everything, but it wasn't like for me, it was, as far as what I've seen, even like the ray tracing on Gran Turismo, which I love Gran Turismo. I'm just like, it wasn't enough for me to like be like, hey, I'm really out going outside to buy this day and date. I think it, could be worth it a little bit down the line when I see newer games, and I think that was the biggest thing for me. If they'd have just had like one, or I think if they do have a state of play, they should have put these two together. Having it separate, it kind of fell flat. And if you're looking across the Crumb side and just and most people, even some of the regulars that was watching in general, a lot of people kind of feel the way. I think that most people that are excited are just the people that are PlayStation centric, heavy on PlayStation, and they were going to buy it regardless anyway. So like, we knew E was going to buy it. You were going to buy it if it was over 500. But man, did I think that presentation fell flat for anybody that wasn't you guys, that weren't already pretty much like, I'm going to get this thing ahead of time, no matter what the price was, as long as it wasn't like $1,200 or something of that nature. Well, I mean, E's the only one who got the 101. So, but man, did I feel that, like, out of all the things, I definitely just wanted to say, man, that presentation sucked for me. You know what I mean?
I'm going next.
Craig said, hold on.
Yeah, because because number one, that console is made. They specifically said, and Porter Rock did a video on it, and I did. It is made for the people who enjoy PlayStation games and they want to play them at the highest fidelity with the best frame rates and the best graphics. That's exactly what we saw.
New game, I got that, but I wasn't speaking. I was just speaking for me, and I was just also saying that I can see why the normal consumers and why a lot of other people would just be like, man, I don't think But my problem isn't that is for the enthusiasts, as anybody would say, or anything like that. That's not the issue. I think that this would have been fine if they had put it with the state of play, showing maybe not even a lot, but just one or two new games with all. They
did.
Features.
They showed Stellar Blade. It's going to be featured. They showed Assassin's Creed.
That's not a new game. I said Assassin's new games. Creed like that's never been showed. I'm not talking about anything from the past. I'm talking about like basically they're supposed to have a state of play showing like what's coming up in the future. For me, and I think for a lot of other people, if they would have put that together, like say it's Cory Barlog's space game, or I don't know, because they said they're working on like several games, or just anything brand new, I think it would have had more excitement behind it. I know that they probably don't care and they're just selling it to you guys, and you guys are happy, and that's fine. I'm just saying, to get it to the mass market, and the reason,
that's not what it's for. Did you see the Ampere analysis?
It's called the PS5.
Did you see the Ampere analysis that said they expect to sell about the same amount, close to 20 million, which is 1/5, which is exactly
doesn't mean you can't try. That's my whole thing. It's the same thing with Concord. I didn't think the Concord marketing did well at all, even though I was in full support of it. I didn't think Concord marketing was done well. Me and E differed on that. We had some similar ideologies, but we differed on that. And it's the same thing here. For me, it's like, just because you know it's not going to get mass appeal doesn't mean you can't put the effort in to try to break in. You know what I'm saying? And that's my thing. So, and like I said, nobody.
I hear you on that point.
Y'all gonna go back and forth about this all day. This is not like a fanboy thing. This is specifically.
Let me be fair.
Me, and I think that they could have did a better job at trying to push, get more people excited than just the average, because this could be the new wave, for a lot of people, to move on and get the best performance at all times. Anyway, go ahead.
Allow me to modify Truth's statement. I'm not changing his words, but I partially agree with you, but not the new games part. Because to me, the new games part is just exciting the PlayStation fan base, regardless of the PS5 Pro or the Slim or whatever. It's just you want to see new from PlayStation. But where I do agree, they could have done a better job, right? And maybe this wasn't the right place. And if it's not, I think Sony soon, real quickly, needs to do a proper presentation, because I think the real thing for the Pro is, what's the difference? Because that's really what it's about. Because if you get a new first party game, you don't need a PS5 Pro to play Cory Barlog's new space game. You could do that on the PS5 Slim. If you really want to convince people that this is worth $700, I want to see not just a quick Mark Cerny, oh look, it's a little bit, we'll zoom in for 10 seconds. No. I want to like take the games that are demanding on the PS5, for example, Dragon's Dogma. And they'd be like, hey, on this game, you couldn't play this at performance mode, or you couldn't play at 60 frames. It was just too taxing on the PS5. But on the PS5 Pro, look what you can do now. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what would resonate people. Show where PS5 is struggling on certain games with performance, graphics, settings, right? Get those games that are really challenging, PS5, and then say, look, on the Pro, like butter. Knocking out the park.
A lot of the things they put in the blog.
I think they kind of
a lot of things they put in the blog.
That's exactly what they did.
They literally did that. They let a bunch of the media get their hands on it. They had CNET. The guy recorded all the footage. They had a screen side by up top was the PS5 Pro version, and down at the bottom was the standard PS5 version, and they showed the difference between them. They said they did the same thing for Gran Turismo. They had two screens, one in the 8K mode.
He got cut. He got cut.
I thought I was about to say, was that just me?
They got you, J-Dub. Here's the thing. So I understand what they showed so far.
Presentation though.
Yeah, I showed So I don't know if we're referencing another video. Please link it to me if there's more.
Yeah, they're talking about the videos that came after, because a lot of people drop videos right behind it. I wish they put that in the main video. If there's from the blog, all that stuff.
If there's other content creators or IGN or whatever did their things, then we're just gonna have to search through it. But for PlayStation, right? Because that's where everybody's zoned in, they should have done something themselves and be like, hey, and I think nothing. Like, for example, Mark Cerny showed, The Last of Us and Horizon Zero Dawn, right? And generally, you can see the improvements. But I'm going to tell you, PS5's a beast. It did generally a good job. Because even when the comparisons, I'm like, damn, like, PS5 still looks good. Like, I'll be honest, you see it's better. You do see it. But
yeah, that's a fact.
Some people might be like, the big difference ain't that worth it. Especially, like, with the PS5, if you put in VRR and high frame rate, they didn't compare it to that. You see what I'm saying? So it still looks good, but I think where people, the hook, line, and sinker is the games that are challenging for PlayStation, right? And if they would have took those games that are challenging and then show how the PS5 Pro smokes it, there's nothing, you really can't argue with that. They'd be like, hey, look at Dragon's Dogma, right? 30 frames, blah, blah, blah. A little bit choppy according to Digital Foundry. On the PS5 Pro, we got locked 60. Easy. You can't argue
on
with
that list.
Like
that Dragon's Dogma was on that list.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was already on the list.
Show it. That's the thing. My thing is that the main presentation, they shouldn't have put it in the blog. It shouldn't have been on other people's channels afterwards. It should have been in that presentation for me. Now, I'm not saying anything's wrong. There's no hatred. I'm not trying to tell people not to buy it or none of that.
We're just saying what could have been better. And I don't think it's the presentation could have been better. Which could have led to
that's all.
The first and I think we call but I think we all agree. First impressions is huge for a lot of things in gaming, right?
Can I say something?
I agree.
Let me say one thing.
Concord.
This was a technical presentation by Mark Cerny. He's not that guy that do all of that. He just told you the 3 points that he wanted to tell you about the PS5 Pro, and that's up to Sony at their state of play or their next event or whatever to showcase their games that they're going to show you running on the PS5 Pro. But what I like they did afterwards, again, this stuff was for the media. And the media ended up doing all of their videos. That's why I watch CNET. I watch a ton of other of them showing you the games that were running on there and talking about the three things that he did. He talked about the AI upscaler. He talked the pisser or whatever. He talked about the ray tracing and then the GPU or whatever, and how it's like 3 to 4 times better than the PS5. Now, listen, let's face it. There was nothing that Sony could have did that would have made this fucking a slam dunk for anybody. It is what it is, right? So we got so many gamers that got their own wants, their own needs, their own vices. We got content creators that need the content for this and that, and so everybody's all over the place. Fucking the internet don't never. Gamers right now don't agree on shit. This shit could have been free. People would still found a thing. But what I did like, right, is the fact that he came out. He told us about the things that they wanted to tell us about. He focused on that, and he showed us some games that were actually running on the PS5 Pro. Sure, there's
first
the
party
first part,
game. Yeah,
yeah,
that's what they should have done. Yeah,
he showed the and I do like that he did show the Assassin's Creed. He showed them third party. He talked the Hogwarts, right, running the quality mode.
yeah.
With the ray tracing at 60 frames and stuff like that, right? And that's not no little pissant type game. Now it's up to Sony following this on what they're going to show us next, running on a Pro.
Agreed.
That I think should convince people. Because at the end of the day, there's two things. There's the hardware and there's the game. And right now, PlayStation has a problem with they haven't shown us the games or their roadmap yet, right? For the first party of what we're going to get next year and for. And so gamers were already PlayStation gamers were already upset about that. Well, Sony, when are you going to show the first party stuff? What's coming from Naughty Dog, Sucker Punch, and Blue Point and the rest of those guys, right? Show us what's next. So that's a problem Sony already had. They have yet to show us that. Then they come with this hardware saying, hey, listen, this is going to run your games that you have already using this technology. It's going to run them at 60 frames. Hell, you even got games like GTA running 8K 60. Then if you want with the full on ray tracing, I mean, they really talked about that stuff. And that's just the beginning. This is the first day. Everybody emotions was high. You had the haters out there in full blast. You had the people that, and I get it. There's a lot of people that want this thing, but they can't afford it, and so therefore they're disappointed because it's very expensive. And I get that. It's not a one size fits all. But I do want to say this: make no mistake about it. These companies when they offer you, like for example, even Xbox, they offered you an Xbox Series X and an Xbox Series S, and if your finances can't reach the Series X, they gave something for you, which is the Series X for you to have. You already have a PS5. They gave you the PS5 digital that was $399. They gave you the one with the disc that's $499. They gave you the options. This PS5 Pro is not a must-have. Most people already have a PS5 or they're thinking about getting a PS5. And so I think you should get it based on your finances. I think that's what it is. Because I see guys saying, well, I got to spend $700 on a PS5 Pro. Then I got to buy a $30 stand. Then I got to buy this. Then I got to buy extra controller. Then I got to buy PS Plus. Then I got to buy literally adding up this list like they're adding in their cart, like they're building a PC. And it's like you can
don't
spend.
forget the fuel. Don't forget the fuel to go to the
exactly
store.
the fuel.
That's
exactly
$2.36 right there.
Yeah.
Don't forget the fuel.
I mean, the shit that I'm hearing these guys complain about, it's like, listen, you already have a PS5. You don't need this. This is not for you. This is for the enthusiasts. Yep. Right? Your games is going to run just fine on your PlayStation 5, just like they always have. If this PS5 Pro never existed, you would never tell the difference. You're still going to be getting your goatees. You're still going to be having great performance modes. You're still going to be good. It's just the fact that they came out with an enthusiast item that's going to run those games, like Craig say, a little bit more, right?
A little bit more.
Yeah. And you got people just it's like it's the end of the world. Now, mind you, just mere weeks ago, the competition came out with a $600 goddamn console.
That was bedazzled.
The bedazzle edition. Nobody winked the eye with that, right? Nobody winked the eye. And then on top of that, you got these PC guys that every goddamn iteration they spending $700 to $1,000, if not $1,500 for a fucking GPU or every CPU. Every time they jumped in the fucking conversation. They're not even console guys, but they jump into the conversation. Oh, you can just spend $700 and get your PC and pay the ray trace. Get the fuck out of here with that. I mean, but I get it. We expected this, right? Because we talked about it last week leading up. Even yesterday, we talked about it leading up to today. We knew what was going to happen. We knew what they was going to say. We called it to the T what the fake outrage would be about. But at the end of the day, like I said, They talk shit about the PlayStation Portal. They said nobody asked for it, nobody needed it. It's too expensive for a streaming item. Guess what? That became the number one selling accessory in the fucking world. Same thing with the DualSense Edge. The battery life sucks and it's too expensive. What happened? The number one goddamn accessory, PlayStation 5. Oh, it ain't number 9.2 T flops with GCN technology. It's too weak. What happened? The number one goddamn selling console in the world. Guess what? The PS5 Pro will fall right in line for all the naysayers and the people don't. Guess what? The motherfucker's gonna sell out. It just
bust cheeks. They're gonna bust cheeks. Yeah.
Listen, I'm going next. I'm going next.
Hold on.
I think everybody would agree with me.
Okay, so wait. Before you move on, let me do the super chats. All right. Let me shout out to Purple Haze. Oh, check her channel out. Purple Haze says, "Thank you for the super chat." It says, "It'll sell. Hardware companies sell hardware. Mid-gen upgrades happen. If you want it, buy it. Otherwise, keep it moving." Hey, yo, Purple, if you want to hop on the podcast and speak your bars, hit me up in the DM. I'll send you the link. You know what I'm saying? We'd love to get your perspective on this. But shout out to Purple Haze, right? The Bat is, new member. Thank you. Welcome to the channel, my brother. Appreciate it. Donnell Brown. The Switch 2 is going to be as powerful as the PS5 Pro. Laugh out loud. I can't believe a Nintendo dude said that. Oh, you have no idea. We're going to talk about that one, bro. And Donnell, your Raiders sucks as much as my Giants. So I don't want to hear no shit this year in football, all right? Don't be trying to troll me with my Giants. Your Raiders sucks just as bad. Shout out to Jay Barry. He says,
for you next week.
It's going to be worse for you next week. But it can get worse. It can't get worse. I'm expecting 0-16 this year.
I'm a Commanders fan.
Who's your team?
We suck too, but we going to beat y'all.
You know what? All right. Now we'll
go ahead.
PS5, Jay Barry. He says PS5 Pro too expensive. I'll buy a $2,000 GPU though. Hilarious. And then we got Dante with the $20 super chat says, "What is disingenuous are the content creators that are hating on this option when they have their own build to order PC service or sponsored by one." Facts. Some of these dudes didn't even buy their PC. They got their shit sponsored. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Yep. Okay. Oh, Forte, you absolutely. Wait, hold up. Forte's gonna jump on, but now Extreme, spit your bars while I start hooking up other people.
I'm about to get off of here, so you can go ahead. I just wanted to say I don't have an issue with the PlayStation 5 Pro. I know how J-Dub feel. Mine was just more so the presentation. I just felt like the presentation for me fell flat. That was it. But all right, y'all enjoy yourselves.
You too, bro. Go ahead, Extreme. Spit your bars.
I'm a gamer in 2024. The PlayStation 5 Pro should have been free to play. It should have just come out for free. Matter of fact, you should take your original PlayStation 5 and get a refund for that one as well. Okay? And that's exactly how it should be. That's gaming 2024. Everything should be for free, full of microtransactions and battle passes. I think the console should have a console pass. So that, you get more features, and every time you insert a disc, it takes a little bit of money out of your pocket. That's basically what I think that the console should have been like. But, I just want everyone to be able to afford it. Little Timmy and everybody else that wants to jump on, they can just jump on for free. That's exactly how it should be. So yeah, they should. That's how gaming 2024 should be. That we're not allowed to pay for things. We shouldn't pay for anything. And I just want to stand up for the gamer. What is it? I got a wife and kids too, right? YJ Barry? Yeah. That's why we got to think about them. As far as the presentation
goes, saw the light. He saw the light.
Yeah, you see, exactly. That's exactly right. Gaming 2024 has told me you shouldn't pay for anything. Anything that demands a price, that's not right. So I just I want to retract all of my previous months long saying that it will be $700 to $800 for the full PlayStation 5 Pro, even though I was right on point, and I've just been holding this line for like years now. Even though I'm the one that's been saying it will be nothing less than $700, I just want to go back. 2024 has told me after Concord, you should just get everything for free. No matter how good it is, how polished it is, if it works well on day one, it doesn't matter. Everything should be free to play, full of microtransactions and battle passes. That's what I wanted to say.
My man is still salty over Concord. Listen, you lost the battle. Listen, you lost the battle of Concord. That's it.
Watch your mouth. Not today, P-Rock.
Y'all lost. Listen. I failed you as a general, but I reinforced the lines from Astrobot. All right, here you go. All right,
P-Rock, not today.
Yeah, y'all lost.
Not today, P-Rock.
J-Bar, man. Sometimes you gotta lose a few battles. Listen, sometimes you gotta win a few. You gotta lose a few battles to win the war. You know, Concord wasn't it. The Battle of Concord, that's it. You know, we gotta fall back. You know, the plan. But J-Bar, I'm glad you're back. After J-Bar, we're gonna go to Craig Harris.
Yo, they was telling me, yo,
what's going on?
Get P-Rock and kick his shins. I was like, listen, P-Rock, that's my Puerto Rican brother. I can't kick his shins, man.
You know what I'm saying? But Jay Barry, what's up? What you like? How you feeling right now? You know what I'm saying? Are you gonna stop playing on PlayStation? Get that $900 pre-owned bill? Absolutely, as you should.
Absolutely.
Get that pre-owned bill.
PlayStation showed me. PlayStation had the audacity, okay, to charge the great people $700 for a PlayStation 5 Pro. I'm not going to get one. I hope you all don't get one. Okay, wait, let me take that back. I hope you all don't get one. Okay, on September 26th, I hope you don't go over there and pre-order. You know what I mean? Because it is a goddamn shame that they are charging so much. So I don't want to see you, the people, pre-ordering that crap.
My man's trying to lock his order down. That's why he's trying to do no competition. He's trying to lock that shit down.
Absolutely. Listen, yo, I'm trying to have a smooth process, okay? I'm trying to log on to the app, log in.
You just want to walk
put my stuff in, and let's get the hell up out of there. Exactly. Don't pre-order nothing.
You don't want to hit F5 for refunds. You just want to get it, walk out, good. Easy.
Nope. Listen, all the people saying that they don't want to purchase a PS5 Pro. I hope September 26th is smooth as hell. It should be smooth. I should have no issue getting a pre-order. But nah, man. Yeah, like, you know, I'm listening to everyone as I came in here. Like, I like the presentation. I do think they could have did a better job as far as like showcasing the comparisons with the game. It was a little too quick. And I feel like they shrunk the screen down a little bit. Like, nah, zoom that thing in, do some digital foundry.
Yeah, it's looking like this podcast right now. They're showing the games in these little ass boxes.
Yeah, like nah, you gotta expand that. But like I said in my video that I made, but I had the wrong mic enabled, so I had to delete it. But they do have 2 weeks until pre-orders start, so hopefully they can start showing. Here's the visual comparison, like a walkthrough, you know what I mean, kind of thing. Thank God they had that video at CNET, because somebody had an actual hands-on impression and they was giving their thoughts and opinions about it. And yeah, it was very positive from the people, where they would say, yeah, you do see a drastic difference with the games. They had Horizon Forbidden West, PS5 Pro on the top, and a regular PlayStation 5 at the bottom. And yeah, you saw that shit right off the video. I was just like, yeah, I can see the 30 frames, whatnot, and then the 60 frames of all of the fidelity and everything. I just find it weird that I find people.
Wait, J-Bar, don't forget my game now. Come on, man.
Buddy.
Yeah. AK-60.
Yo, you know what's funny? I've heard for like a long time now about Gran Turismo 8K version or whatnot. I don't know if that was the pro people was playing, but I heard that.
You don't know? Puerto Rock didn't tell you? So back in the day when that came out, right? When it was the PS5, before the PS5 came, they had all the leaks and stuff like that. And Kaz, he was showing off GTA at 8K 60 frames or whatever. He was showing it off at CES. So that year, I ended up buying that 8K TV, the Sony. I think it was my Z9G or Z. I can't remember what model. And I bought it, thinking, trying to get ahead of this shit, and then that never kind of really took place. In Puerto Rock, man, they beat my leg.
It was a tax write-off. Yeah, but my man said it as a tax write-off. He said he just ran off his taxes. It was a tax write-off.
Yeah, but guess what? I got a great redemption story. Because my AK-60 finally came, baby. I finally got my TV.
All right. Yo, you know what's crazy? I see people like trying to put this in like a negative light or whatnot. Like the PlayStation Spectral Super Resolution thing, the PSSR. Like that's a huge sell for this console, in my opinion. Yeah. The more I look at it and the more they talk about it. because I'm like, yo, things like DLSS and FSR is a great addition to any like PC. Like I said,
Absolutely.
playing Spider-Man 2 on my PC, I turn on DLSS and I drop it down to 1440p because it really truly like I could get the image quality, really, really high, and I get the more frames. It looks good. So I don't understand how on a console now that is being bashed while even people that got 4090 GPUs are turning on DLSS so they can get better resolution or screen images or frame rate. So
it's only bad when PlayStation do it. It's only bad when PlayStation do it.
Yeah, like stuff like that on a console. I'm like, that's to me that was like one of the biggest sellers in that whole little 3 pillars or whatnot they were saying. I was like, that's the seller right there. Because even if now you're playing in fidelity or performance, I know they got a PlayStation Pro mode, but if you play in any of the other modes, you still are getting a huge benefit because of that AI upscaling technology there. So you playing at performance mode, performance mode normally drop it at 1080p, 1440p, or whatever crazy resolution. Even on the PS5 Pro, you might say you're playing at 1440p with the unscaling frame rate. That's going to get smoothened out, and the image quality is going to get smoothened out because of the AI, upscaling technology. So I'm just like, how is that a bad thing? Like, you're getting a better image and more frames regardless on any mode. So I don't know how that's that a bad thing. And then you got the PlayStation Pro mode that just gives you the fidelity with the frame rate. You know what I mean? I remember when this generation started off, people was like 60 frames or die. You know what I mean? It was 60 frames. I remember people was like saying 1080p 60 should be the minimum. They don't care if it's 1080p, 60 frames, 60 frames, 60 frames. Now you getting the 60 frame, people was like, oh, that is old. That's antiquated. I see people saying it's antiquated.
I saw that.
I'm like, what?
Antiquated. Like, get out of here. So to answer your
come
question,
on, man.
To answer your question, it's 2 things. One, there's 2 haters when it comes to the pisser, right? Okay. Yeah. The first haters is the PC guys because they want PC to have, the best use of that technology, which is not a competition, right? They still got DLSS, they got FSR. I think they prefer DLSS because NVIDIA, and it works. They use it all the time, right? The second haters is the Xbox guys because Microsoft doesn't care about creating their own specific solution for their own console. They're just gonna leave.
Oh, they got the X Pete, right? That's what he said.
You know what I'm saying?
These monsters for breakfast.
Yeah, they're gonna leave it up to the FSR AMD, which is really pretty much generalized because FSR is on PC, it's even on some NVIDIA cards, and it's on consoles, right? But Sony, because they actually care about their console, they're like, you know what? We're gonna do something specific, and we're gonna get the best and the most. It's the pisser is for the PS5. It's not meant for PC. It's not meant for other devices, right? So it's a company who's making hardware that still cares about their hardware, and that's why people are pissed off.
Even with the PSSR,
well, non-PS gamers.
He said that this is a technology that's not on nothing yet. But it's just like the SSD, you know what I mean? Like, not to say that it won't be on PC.
It's not available yet.
It's not available on anything yet other than the PS5 Pro because it's their own priority.
He said with the technology, just like he said with the PS5, the technology that's in there that's not available on PC, that happened in collaboration with Sony and with AMD, and eventually it will trickle down into the AMD ecosystem. But that pisses off PC fanboys. They do not want to hear that. But I remember when Linus Tech Tips, right, with the SSD, he went and bought and got a SSD RAID to try to get the throughput that PS5 was getting, and he went and tried to build a used a PC with used parts to try to say that you can build a PS5 with $500. Things like that just have these guys so insecure about their PCs, and I don't understand it. If you got a high-end PC, why are you even in the conversation of consoles? Like, why?
The last thing I want to say is like the pricing, because I do think $700 is a lot of money. But if you look at everything that's being offered, it sounds reasonable. It's only $200 more than the base PlayStation 5 console. Like, the PS5 Pro is so much of a bigger upgrade than the PS4 Pro because the PS4 Pro was just enabling to do one thing, and that's a higher resolution bump. You know what I mean? Where
Yeah.
the PS5 Pro, you got AI technology, better ray tracing, the performance and the resolution type bump as well.
Yep.
Bigger GPU. You know what I mean? Like it's just a bigger upgrade. So in this time period that we live in this gaming landscape that we are in, seeing something cost a PS5 Pro cost $200 more, I'm not really surprised by that because we're getting price increases every freaking year. This generation.
Yeah.
Game prices is going up, subscription price going up. Heck, they just raised the controller $5 more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you think that they're gonna be like, all right, yo, PS5 Pro? I see people say $550. I was like, where, what planet you live on? I'm not like saying agree with the price, but I can see why it is because the PS5 right now is not having a price decrease. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's due to how the world is working right now. So
Inflation, and the shipping and all that. Yeah.
I just want to say
me-
that it's
Europe.
actually
Let me push it up to
$300
Craig.
more than the base PS5.
Yeah.
Because you have to compare digital
now.
to digital.
Yeah, so it's
and the
300.
digital is 400.
It's
So it's
$300.
$300 more.
And
than
I'm
the
gonna
base
touch
So the
PS5.
digital,
Yeah, you're right. I'm
the
gonna touch on
digital
that.
is $449. It's $449 for the
Okay,
digital.
250 more then.
Yeah.
But still,
Yeah, 250 more, okay.
I think the price is exactly where it should have landed. Like Jay Barry just said, it is a much bigger upgrade than last time around.
Yeah.
And I don't understand the fantasy world that people were living
2
in.
terabyte
I told people
SSD.
if you had this thing at $600, you were only gonna get a bigger SSD. I literally said that. And then Xbox came out and it went for $100 more, and they only give you a bigger SSD. So it's like you look at the competition and you understand that they have a lot of the same logistics as Sony does. So if they are at $600 and they only give you the SSD, the next ones that are going to come and give you more on top of that are obviously going to cost more than $600. This whole thing, whether we're going to be 600 or 650, that was a fantasy. And when I kept telling people, you're not getting a full PlayStation 5 Pro for less than $800, they kept saying, oh, Emmanuel, you're crazy. Oh, they'll never do this. They can't break $600. Well, suck on that. That's it.
Right.
That's it. And guess what? Next time, the PlayStation 6, you'll be lucky if you get that $500 again. All right? Y'all better start saving up. All of you who are not going to pay
I wouldn't
no.
compare the 6 right now.
We'll talk about that. That's a separate topic.
All of you who are not going to pay for the Pro right now, good. Save your money and start putting it towards the 6.
Yeah.
Okay? Because you're not going to like that price either.
We're gonna talk
this
about that
whole
one.
thing. I'm so tired of
Well, the
this whole
6
thing
has
where
advantages.
If you want
the
the high-end watch, yeah, you can go and get it. If you want the high-end freaking tennis racket, you can go get it. You want a high-end camera, go get it. You want high-end speakers, go get it. But if you want a high-end console gaming experience, no, you're not allowed. That's not. Some people they can buy Ferraris, but you're not.
Hey, hold on. Let me get Craig out. We gotta get Craig. We got our pieces.
Oh, yeah,
I gotta get Craig. Yeah, before we get Craig, let me do the super chat. Then I want to get Craig. I want to get Judge, and then I'm gonna go through with Project Cloud, and then we'll go circle it back around. Hey, we got Twisted Sin. Twisted said people championing that Xbox Now on Twitter because of the disc drive. The games still only have a key on the disc, not actual games that are frauds. The funny part, shout out to you because majority of Xbox gamers are on the Series S. So I don't even know why they're talking about this right now. I don't even know why. It's just crazy. She's wild. All right, Satya, whole slate Nadella. Oh, snap. Thank you for the super chat. It says, at least it's not 40 mil for a trash quarterback like DJ. I can't even hate. I can't even argue. It's true. It is what it is, right? And J Roll 49, thank you for the super chat. Just there supporting the channel. Thank you so much. Hey everybody. Hey, once again, hit the like button. We got a full pack house. Appreciate it. Share this out. Make sure you vote on the poll. Now, Liquidator said, if you wouldn't buy it at $700, but would buy it at $500, you wasn't ever going to buy it anyway. I think we already see that. A lot of people didn't buy the PS4 Pro, and that was $400. So we ain't worried about that. But Craig, spit your bars up, my brother.
Yeah, I have the down payment right here. Lube, get it ready. I've been saying this since the spring. This thing was going to go ahead and cost you $700, and saw people in the chat like saying Emmanuel's right. Saying it in the chat. Although never
and that thing was half empty, bro.
Yeah, and I kept on saying get it ready. Yeah, I got it right here, but look at it. It's strawberry flavor, so there you go, nice and slow. But the days of subsidizing gaming is over. You are going to have to start paying. Jay Barry's right. You want 60 frames. You want better graphics, you want higher resolutions, but then you don't want to pay for it. So you're going to have to pay for it. As far as the presentation, I enjoyed it. I do agree with Jay Barr. I would have liked it to be a little bit longer. It was, there was some side boob there, but I wanted to see the whole boob too. But the Last of Us Part 2, they upgraded that. That looks good right now, but with that fidelity mode, he's 30 frames per second, and now it's 60 with better fidelity. And I would like to hear more about the sound of it, but this today was about the first party games. That's what it was about. Because the console is for the PlayStation enthusiasts. If you want to come on later on, I agree that maybe they have something later on this week or later this month or something like that. But I enjoyed the presentation. We've been telling you that this thing was going to cost $700, and we told you and told you and told you. And instead of you all just saving your money, like we told you, you were like, "I'll never do it." And guess what? This thing's more powerful than a 4090. It is. A friend of mine, he called me. He has a 4090. He was like, "Look, I struggle with this." He said he's struggling with it because he's seen that this thing do things that the 4090 can't do. It's not going to do this. It's going to struggle. So,
Craig, let's pack that one up, man. Pack that one up, man.
Can you elaborate on that?
Listen.
I'm a pony, bro. I'm a PlayStation fanboy. We can't do that. We can't. Craig, you're comparing this. You're comparing this to a 4090. Stop this, bro. Nah, they gonna clip him up. I'm telling you, you're gonna be content, bro.
I've been saying that for weeks. Ain't that J-Dub? I've been on his podcast. It's more powerful.
No, not on 4090. Not even close. Man, Craig. God damn it, Craig. We're not doing this. We sounded like We Bleed Blue podcast. What are we doing here? A 4090 is 1,500 bones by itself.
We got the lube for
you're going to use that on yourself. You bought that shit for yourself.
Hey, Rob, man, you encouraging that behavior, man. You a dirty one for that.
You using that shit for yourself, bro. You talking about a $1,500 GPU. That you ain't touching. You not.
They were dumb enough to go buy one.
I'm saying, but the pros. No, it's not. No, it's not. Oh man, this guy set us up.
I enjoyed the show. Be serious. I enjoyed the show. I thought they did a good job.
The words and advice of Craig Harris does not represent 60 Frames No Like Productions, nor a representative of Puerto Rock Entertainment.
That's told people that
Astro Boy, Astro Boy got you, boy. He got you clipped. I'm gonna let you know, Astro Boy. He got him. Astro Boy got him. In fact, it's already on Twitter. He got him.
That's fine.
Oh no, it's Alex. Oh no, Alex gonna show his nipples and clip you with his little fuzzy ears. Wait, to be fair. Don't do it, J-Dub.
Listen.
Don't do it.
Craig is not saying anything that RDX didn't say when they said that they was gonna get 40 to 30 frames delta.
But we not RDP.
That's all I'm saying.
But we not RDP. We're not real deal PlayStation.
Listen. I'm just saying. Hey, I'm just saying. Let
RDP.
Don't do it.
It's more powerful.
Astro Boy. What's his name? Astrobot. Astro Boy.
Eastwood. If it was good for Eastwood, it's good for Craig.
Oh man, they got you clipped, dog. That's it.
That's fine. I want them to clip me.
Oh yeah, you clipped up. That's 100%. They in here.
On a $1,500 for a card. What numbnut nibby does that and complains about $700? So yeah, come at
Forte.
Come at me, bro.
All right, hold on.
I agree with that. Yeah,
Forte, hey, I got you. Hit up your message. I sent you the link to join the Discord. I guess you weren't here. And there you are. Let me drop you down. Boom, we got it. All right. We're copacetic.
There you are. Let me drop you down. Boom. That's echo. We got it.
Hey, got an echo. I'm hearing my beautiful voice through the speakers, Forte. There you go. I love the sound of my own voice.
Yo, what up, though?
What up, though? All right, let me go through super chats again. We got, Forte. He said, Craig, stop capping, bro. My 4090 is undefeated year to date. Hey, you're muted, Craig. Craig, you're muted. Yeah, I'm hearing myself. Craig, you were muted.
He said he ain't pay $1,500. He paid $2,000.
Yeah, the death of the 4090, September 26th, 2024.
Man, you're on your own, man. We were supposed to do it. We were supposed to do it.
And I got the loot for you.
No, that's for you. That's not for us. It's you. September 26th. You taking that shit. Anyway, we're going to go.
Death of the 49.
All right, so we're going to hit up the judge. The judge. What's your verdict on this, my brother? Pass your sentencing.
I am split. I'm really split on this.
Oh,
and the reason why I'm split on this is for two reasons. Number one, for myself personally, I have a 4080, and I like PlayStation, but to me, it's like, you know, if I go about and go buy this, you know, what am I actually really gaining? And then secondly, to segue into that point, I will be really interested to see what is the trade-in value for the regular PlayStation 5. I mean,
385 at GameStop. 385.
385.
410, bro. You cutting it short. 410 right now.
Yo, if you got the pro membership, yeah, you're right.
What is it? 410?
14.
410.
Yep.
I might be taking it to the store. I don't know yet. I'm thinking about it.
Hey, yo, I might turn that shit in right now.
410 for a PlayStation 5?
Yeah.
I think
for any of the disc versions. Disc versions are all the old one and the slim 410.
Yeah. Oh shit. I
thought they decreased the trading value.
Decreased the slim, the digital one, not the disc one.
Dog. I think I might be out of a PlayStation for a couple of months.
Yeah, that disc finna be up out of there.
I think I'm gonna be out of a PlayStation for a little while.
That means that if you trade,
it's literally like $290.
You had it for $90 for 4 years. That's ridiculous.
Man, that's why I try to tell people: wait until they give you a good deal, and then you can get rid of it.
Yo, that's crazy.
If I was in the US, I'd trade it in right now.
Oh shit, that's what I'm about to do. I'm about to be iPhone gamer until November.
For 4 years of PlayStation 5.
That's crazy. I'm about to be on this.
I'm not trading in my PS5.
I'm about to be on this laptop.
But you got 15 controllers. We're never gonna.
I'm about to game on this laptop for like a month or two. Oh shit! You know what I'm saying?
I ain't trying to hear that. T. Right? Yo, you got private flying. You was in DR. You was in DR 5 hours. I ain't trying to hear that, P. Right?
Listen, I'm on Steam, dog. Catch me on Steam until November. I'm gonna be PC Master Race until November. Then I'll be back at my pony grind. Oh shit! But anyway, hey, so we got right here. We also got Jenna Hayes with the super chat. Thank you, Jenna. Jenna said, "Granddaddy Craig, can I purchase a PS5 Pro with EBT cards or Street Pharmacy?" Oh shit! She wants to connect. She wants the Kentucky plug. You know what I'm saying? Oh shit!
Donate blood. Donate blood.
My man think he Nino Brown. All right. Hey, so who we got next? First, okay, the judge. Continue, judge. Because you right now you don't know if the person's guilty or innocent. Because you got a 4080, so you got a hard decision to come to. What's going on?
Yeah, I got a hard decision to make. Even though that trade-in value do seem worth it, I gotta admit that. But sneaky or slimy. I mean, shit. I do think it's really slimy of Sony to not include or have a disc version, whereas it's digital. And if you want to have a disc, you got to buy that separately. Which to me, I'm looking at either an additional $80 to $100. So that goes exactly to M's point. Yeah, you're paying about $800. And I'm gonna give you your flowers too, P Rock, because of I remember back when a couple of years ago when the PlayStation 5 Pro first came out. When the PlayStation 5 first came out, you said not only did you gotta buy a PlayStation 5, but you also gotta update your TV. And at that time, I just bought a 4K TV that was 4 years old back in 2016, coincidentally for the PS4 Pro. So when I found out, oh damn, I gotta update my TV to take advantage of 120 and VRR. Oh man, this is some nonsense. So I'm not really feeling Sony on all of this. I got to be really realistic. Just because of just because I have the money doesn't necessarily mean I need to spend the money.
Yeah, right. Gaming. Here's the thing about it, man. Technology changes all the time. Gaming is an expensive hobby. Listen, you ain't seen nothing yet. Wait till these new 5090 cards come in. These 50 series of the 5000 series. NVIDIA cards come out. They're gonna have some technology that the 44 series don't, and the same reason that the 4 series has shit at the 30. That's just technology, and you don't have to go with the latest and greatest technology. You can be like
No,
everybody else and just kind of, stagger behind and wait till you get a great deal and stuff like that. But I think it's disingenuous for a lot of people to say, just because I'm in a situation to not be able to or not want to do this, that everybody else has to suffer and not do that. I think technology goes fast. People were already complaining about fucking Wukong. They were already complaining about some of these games that started to come out that were heavy and all of this, right? Oh my God, look at these games, these consoles are trash. And they finally offer you something that can lift those complaints, and people are fucking screaming and yelling like it's the end of the
Bro,
world.
that's
Again,
facts. That's
it's it's,
facts.
it's all it's all optional. Now, granted, not everybody wants to fucking game on PC. Those who wanted to game on PC already have a PC. The rest of the people, they're console gamers. They don't want the hassle of dealing with a PC. They don't want all of this shit. They don't want the cost and expensive. They want to plug something in, turn it on, and play the motherfucker, right? And yeah, I'll tell you this. Everybody knows I got fucking everything. But at the end of the day, I'm a console gamer at heart,
Right.
and being able to play my games that I normally play on my PS5, including Xbox games, we got Indiana Jones coming. I want to be able to play that motherfucker at 60 frames,
Right.
4K, high resolution fidelity and shit like that. Listen, y'all know I'm an esports
PS5
racer.
Pro.
GT7 at 8K 60 frames. I'm fucking in there day one. That's me.
Yo.
That's what I'm doing.
You know what's crazy? Yo, Jada,
You know, you are
out of all
right.
the games on the list, that actually is like the best representation. And I said to myself, a goddamn car game. Out of all,
absolutely.
I'm like, God
Absolutely.
damn, bro. But that is literally the
Yo,
best
The car
representation.
games are always going to be the showcase.
Oh,
of
yeah.
PS5.
Yes.
I'm like,
Yes.
I'm like,
and
bro.
and and the fact that it can do 4K
With ray
60
tracing.
with on-track ray tracing, something that the fucking Forza couldn't do. That was locked at 30 frames, trying to do that shit. So I'm just being honest. I'm not saying PS5 Pro is the end-all be-all, but it's an option for those who want to take advantage of it and they want to play their games at better fidelity and better frames. How the fuck could a person be mad at that?
Yo, we're going to talk about
Nobody's-
that.
Yeah, yo,
we're
J
gonna- so
Dub,
we're
you
gonna
made up a
expand
great
further on
point.
that.
You made up a great point about people complaining about this generation when it comes to performance or whatnot, which I don't know how you can on the PS5
On the PS5,
side.
yeah.
But anyway, people was complaining, but they still want to stay in the complaint. Like, yo, the complaints that you had, there's a solution now, where you can buy this Pro to stabilize frame rates, better image quality. But now you just want to complain that this is too much. You know what I mean? Oh, forget solving my complaints. I'm just want to keep complaining with the same shit. Like it's just weird, man. It's just weird. But it is pricey, but it's not for everyone. And I think everybody knew that going in. That is not for everyone.
Well, let me make this. Let me make this last point because you guys already kind of said this earlier, and I definitely agree. I'm not too sure who said it, but there are a lot of disingenuous content creators and even and even journalist sites. Because I was watching IGN's presentation on it earlier today, and then of course they went into their talking. They were being really disingenuous about it, as far as saying, "Hey, this is kind of a real hard sell. Me paying $700 for this. I don't know. I don't know. Blah blah blah." Everybody's entitled to their own opinion.
Yeah.
But as you said, just because that applies to you doesn't necessarily mean. Matter of fact, it doesn't apply to everybody else. And my last point is this, because as far as the pricing and M's point, and I hope that is not right on this. If he is, I'll send him some money. I hope that the PlayStation 6 doesn't cost a whole lot of money. But as far as us just coming out, matter of fact, no, that's not my point. My point is this: I know that PlayStation or rather Sony, I know that Sony is going to, when it comes to first party, that they are going to really showcase what the PS5 Pro can do. But I'm really concerned about the third parties, because the third party developers, at least for me, from my perspective, at least going back to the Xbox 360 and PS3 generation, they have always took the path of least resistance, and they have been really lazy. And I don't see this. I don't know why it would be any different with the PS5 Pro. I mean, they did it with the PS4 Pro, and they were really lazy.
Okay. Let me say
Did
something.
you watch the
presentation? Before we get to that, because I think that treads onto a nice deeper topic that we could all talk about, right? I want to get Project Cloud and then give me Forte's initial reaction, and then we'll go talk deeper into that, right? But before we get into that, we got M's Odyssey. M's Odyssey says, thank you for the super chat. M's Odyssey says, PS5 Pro equivalent PC prices. A Ryzen Zen 3700X equals $165. A 4060 Ti GPU equals $400. 2TB SSD is $130, not including improved RAM in the PS5 Pro, motherboard, power supply controller, and cooling fan. Total cost $1,700. According to his calculations, all right? And I think as more games get more the Pro, because we know it, we all seen it. We're going to see PC and PS5 Pro comparison, and they're gonna try to gauge which one's the closest PC build. So we're gonna see that actually soon. We're eventually gonna see that. We're going to see the PS5 Perform, PS5 Pro, Digital Foundry especially. They're gonna do a PS5 Pro performance, and they're gonna try to build the PC along similar specs, and they're gonna be like, this is the PC that is actually equivalent to PS5 Pro, and then we get to see what the cost of that PC is. Not none of this bullshit, fucking $2 fucking Facebook Live aftermarket bullshit that they're doing, right? But Project Cloud, it's on you. Hey, my brother, go ahead, spit your bars, because you know he's gonna come after us with the Tom Henderson, because my man said Tom Henderson is right. Go ahead. What's up, Project? Welcome back.
Thank you. So yeah, I mean, today feels good. That being said, I mean, from whatever we talked about last, or maybe not very last, but from some time ago, look, if you think you're right, you just go with it. And even if that means you get resistance from people you respect or don't respect or whoever, just stick with what actually is logical and is intuitive to you. Again, some people's intuition might need to change, but I think you hear what I'm saying. You go with your gut. It's like Sony released the PS4 Pro, and I was like, well, I think there was something even towards the launch period of PS5 that Sony talked about potentially a mid-gen refresh in a Game Informer article, and of course, Game Informer's website is down and everything. That was taken offline, but lo and behold, 4 years later, a little later than I would have maybe expected, but it kind of makes sense too, given 2020 and onward. So, as far as today's presentation, one thing I gotta say,
that is the nicest way of you saying you motherfuckers are straight dumb. I was right. Shut the hell up. Right? That is the nicest way of saying it, bro. We could all be wrong. I stick to my guns. Man, that's a nice way of saying, I would have been talking shit, but hey, good on you, man. You a humble dude, because I would have been talking shit. I would have dragged everybody. You a better man than me. Jesus loves you, bro. You are a man of God. You are a man of God, bro. My man truly believes. He truly believes if you take his eye, he's gonna give you the other one. Man, you are truly man of God. Because I would have been the devil on this podcast. Oh my God, I would be insufferable right now. Everybody would have left. I would have been by myself. Now I'm playing. Go ahead, keep going.
I mean, what can you say? I mean, I listened to debates on various things, and like winning's cool, but I mean, it's not about winning against an opponent. It's about what's actually right, or either what's absolutely right, or what, given the evidence, what does something actually point to? So that's all. Also, just like I wouldn't want to call Tom Henderson a liar. I recall some people might have said that. And I was like, no, that's a really serious accusation. That's a very serious accusation. And lo and behold, history has proven him right.
Nah, Tom Henderson got a good track record.
He was 3 for 3. He was 3 for 3 with the Slim, the Portal, and now the Pro. So he gets his flowers.
He actually comes from like Call of Duty, because he used to leak a lot of Call of Duty stuff. But now I guess he's just industry wide now.
Oh, he caught right.
Yeah. And I'll even say, there probably are some nitpicks as far as what he is, said is going to happen versus what actually happened. Like, absolutely. That's going to happen when you have real sources. You're not, we shouldn't expect absolutely 100% accuracy in every statement ever made. Like, that's not realistic. But to have, look, I mean, he's been proven right on just the major topics he's published, on PlayStation for quite some time. So, bravo to him. Appreciate him sharing the sources that he had and letting us know about it ahead of time. As far as today's presentation, I was disappointed when I think it was Monday. PlayStation said that, okay, the next day we're going to have, a 9-minute presentation. When I heard 9 minutes, I was instantly disappointed. Today, when I watched the 9-minute presentation, which was actually a little bit closer to 10 minutes, but I think it's about the best 9-minute presentation you could come up with for this. I would actually have liked that if they had done like they did for the PS4 Pro showcase, that they actually had an event, they had the media, they showed games, they had third party on stage, they had probably first party on stage as well, or at least with Mark Cerny there. So I'm a big believer in live events and the journalism and the E3 kind of yesteryear. So that's disappointing for me. In fact, this whole generation for PlayStation, from that standpoint, has been extremely disappointing because that live in-person stuff, you had PlayStation Experience even in December. I wish that would come back, make it way better than ever. No PlayStation Showcase this year. I mean, hopefully that changes either this month or later in the year, but right now it's not looking too good. The PS5 Pro, I mean, some of the titles, I think Horizon particularly, not that they necessarily showed a whole lot of what maybe the PS5 versus PS5 Pro was showing, but I was like, yeah, the hair looks good, the facial animation, textures look great, so I was impressed with that. I would agree with some of there could have been even more showcasing of PS5 versus PS5 Pro, but at the end of the day, like, this is for the enthusiast. It's a very niche gamer that's going to be targeting these. It's not even necessarily for PC folks. It's just for people with they love a console and they just want a better console. And I hope that with PS5 Pro, it's officially the world's most powerful console. I believe that. I am curious if there are any hardware components that the Series X might possibly still be technically better, but obviously I think we could say Series X, at least, well, technically still is now because the PS5 Pro is not out yet. It's coming November 7th.
Series X can't even be the PS5.
World's most powerful console versus PS5, the world's most efficient console would be the distinction. So I wonder if everything is now in PS5's favor with the Pro model. I hope so. And I think it's great too, just kind of looking back to Gamescom, the announcement of Indiana Jones coming to PS5. It's coming next spring, but I hope that's a great third-party, quote-unquote, showcase for PS5 Pro. Really looking forward to that.
He's throwing shots.
I'm happy to wait and not play the game this December. Maybe get caught up on some games on the Xbox while I wait for the Pro to come out and just sort of stay back and relax on the PS5 because I want to experience. I want to see the whole list of what games are going to actually play better now because they said like 8,500 titles or something would allow for PS5 Pro enhancement of some kind, some sort of boost mode, I think is what they said. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to actually be playing Xbox now because I want to wait and see how PlayStation games are going to play.
Did this guy just say he's playing Xbox now?
You know
what? You're cut off, bro. You were doing so good. Hey, man. Yo, ejecto, cuz. What are we doing here? Oh, snap. I'm like, wait a minute. Did I just hear Game Pass? What are we doing here? Nah, shout out to Project, man. You're my man, but you were right.
I got it on my PC on my Xbox.
Oh, shit. All right, Jimmy Harrison, we're going to Super Chat. He said, much love to you, brother. Good to see Forte and Jay Barry. And that's funny enough, because after this, MASH, he just gifted 10 people membership. Hey, shout out to MASH. Big supporter. And what I love about the dude, he be hooking up people, random people in the chat. if you bigged up and if you ended up with a subscription, please, spam the chat with some smileys, give him your thanks. Truly appreciate it, Mash. Thank you so much for looking out for the people. And Tommy Bull says people say just buy a $1,200 PC instead of the Pro. That's just craziness, right? But right now, let's go to Forte and see. Give me your thoughts, my brother. You in deep. You in the industry. You in GameStop. You get the feel of the pulse. You're in the war zone. You in the trenches, brother. What you in the trenches every day? You see these people. You see these. You see the casuals that don't know shit. You see the mom and dads. You see the nephews. You see the hardcore. You see the guys that buy and they want to talk to you for 2 hours, and you're like, bro, keep the line moving. I got other customers. I ain't got time to talk to you all day. But you can't. But you can't really say that, right? Let us know what you think about this, bro.
I be thinking about that though.
Yeah, in your mind, you're like, bro, you bought your shit. Let's go. Get out of here. But what you got, brother?
So I'm of two minds of it. When it happened and when I saw it, first of all, the price, which is the biggest thing. Mm-hmm. I've been sitting on $700 ever since it's been rumored that this is a thing. I've been telling people $700. I say if they want this thing to be substantially better than what it needs to be at least $700. Now, my only disappointment in this is they got to $700 a way I didn't think they should have got there. I was price push for each version of the console have like a physical version that was at 700. But I mean, it is what it is on that. They decided to go all digital. And if you're one of those people that want to have disc, you have to pony up another $100, $80 basically. So it's not a big deal. I think when it came to the showcase, or just a 10-minute show, it was about what I expected to be. I'll probably say like everybody else, they just didn't show enough when it came to like games that really were going to take advantage of it, because most of the games they showed were cross-gen games, PS4 games that got enhanced on PS5 already, with the exception of Spider-Man. Everything else was pretty much cross-generation. So I probably would have wanted to see at least one third-party game, something that was next-gen only, to see where it was going to benefit there.
Is it Assassin's Creed? Is that?
Well, we haven't seen it yet. That's what I'm saying.
Shadows?
They didn't show that. That's what I'm saying. The games they show. Now, games that are a benefit from it, that's completely different. I'm just talking about things they showed at the stream. So that's the only thing that I kind of wish they would have did more of. But I think everybody here will. And the reason I didn't care about a $700 price is because I want people to understand that gaming is it's a hobby, but it's a luxury thing too. I want consoles to get to the point where if we come out with something that's $700, it's not going to be for everybody. It's going to be for that 10 to 20% that really want something like that. Just like the people that go out and buy 4080s and 4090s, it's going to be a subsection of gamers in that community that want it. PS4 Pro had almost 20% adoption rate on PS5. On PS4, but that's still 100+ million people that did not buy that console. So I don't think PlayStation is expecting everybody to go out and get this. I think they're just trying to tailor to that subsection. And Sony came out and said 3/4 of the people that played games that had options, they went for performance mode, which it should be that way. Who really wants to play their games not at 30 frames per second? They want to play at a better frame rate. So I think they're going to fix that a little bit. I'm just a little bit skeptical of console right now when it comes to performance. It's like, I think this is going to be a good thing right now, but what's it going to be like a year to 2 years from now? Are we going to find ourselves in that same situation where PlayStation may take advantage of this 100%, and we might start seeing PlayStation games not running at 45, 50 frames per second and still have high fidelity and everything like that. I really want to know what third party's going to do with it. Right. They're going to probably tow the boat right now, but are we going to be in the same situation we're in right now with third party a year and a half, 2 years from now? Because we all know the flashy graphics and all that stuff that really takes up the bulk of the development time is the stuff that catches people's eyeballs. So what's going to happen with that? I'm not going to hold Sony to that, just like I never held Microsoft to that. The difference between Sony and Microsoft is I know Sony will live up to whatever their system can do, where I feel like Microsoft hasn't done it to this point. They haven't done it in the last generation and a half at this point. So I'm really interested just to see how this plays itself out. But this system is going to be for the people that want it. And I think Sony they're not even taking a gamble. They know what people are willing to spend for a console now. They don't forget that literally when they released the Slim with Spider-Man, they raised the price by $50. They literally charged you $549 for a system that was $500, and then they lowered it like I think 2 or 3 weeks later. So they charged you $50 just for no apparent reason, and they saw people still go out and buy the console. So you're going to see this with this system. People were going out buying, even knowing it was hard to find. People were scalping this thing for $700-800 when it first came out. Don't think that they didn't see that. So they know that there is a subset of people out there that don't care about price, and they're going to get it if they really want it. I still think the majority of people are going to buy the base. That's probably why they're not going to drop the price of it. It's going to stay at that $500 price point. But they're also trying to differentiate the difference between the consoles by $200 to say, this is something that is high tier, and if you want it, you're going to pay a high tier price for it. So and I have no problem with it. I feel like that should be what everybody should do going forward. The only problem that I have with consoles in general is if you're paying for that, I want to see the benefit. I don't care what somebody at $500 paid for. If I bought something that's $700, show me the benefit of that $700, even if it's a huge difference between both internal platforms and stuff. Because that's where Xbox missed everybody at. So I don't want to see PlayStation do the same thing. But $700, hey, it is what it is. If you ain't got the money, save up. You can go trade your old one in. You got time, 3 months until it basically comes out. So we'll see what happens from there.
All right, let him know Forte is your boy. He got you. He got the hookup. All right,
exactly. That's exactly right.
All right.
Yo,
Forte,
Jay Barnes, what's up?
Yeah, we're gonna get to Ramon. Ramon, you're next. You're next, Ramon. Let me do the super chat. All right, we got Tommy Bull. He said people complain like PS5 Pro is the only model. We're gonna talk about that. So we're gonna let Ramon spit his bars, and then I'm gonna bring up the next topic. Still the PlayStation 5 Pro, but I think we're gonna tailor the whole price, performance. I'm gonna zone in and scope the conversation a bit. But Ramon, what's up, my brother? What's going on?
Yo, what's going on? Not a whole lot. Just doing it like yesterday. Hopefully a little better.
Okay, you ready to admit your 480 is dog shit and you're coming back to consoles? You ready? Nah, I'm playing, dog.
Well,
I'm playing. What's going on, man?
According to some folks, apparently the PS5 Pro curb stomps my.
No, don't say some folks. Say Craig. All right, say Craig. Say his name. All right, that lube is for him. That's Strawberry. That's his favorite.
Oh man,
what's going on,
I'm gonna
man?
be on the lookout for those clips.
No, it's happening.
I think that I've never been a mid-gen refresh type of person. In my personal opinion, the PS5 is still an amazing console. So the fact that I have that and my PC is, well beyond more powerful, I don't really have a need for it personally. But for people who want the convenience of console only, and they're the PlayStation ecosystem, I mean, you got options now. I mean, if you're cool with the way things are, you keep your PS5. But if you want less compromise, I hear people saying no compromise. There's no such thing as no compromise. But if you want less compromise, then you have an option, and that's all it is. Like, I see people like, man, this is ridiculous, blah blah blah. Well, if it's ridiculous, don't buy it. That's all. So I mean, there's nothing wrong with options. The price is exorbitant, and I mean that's what it is. Also,
Forte flex.
That's what y'all need. That's what y'all need to do. If y'all don't want to compromise, that's the closest you're going to get to non-compromising.
14
exactly.
14 flexible. All right, man. Good point, Ramon, right? Hey, so we're going to go to the next conversation. Now, I just wanted to make sure, the first segment, I just wanted to make sure every single person was able to get their bars off, right? Because I know this podcast will get crazy. I just wanted to make sure each and everybody here that took the time. First, I want to say to everybody in the panel, thank you so much for showing up. I truly appreciate you, my brothers. Thank you so much. You could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with this dog shit podcast, and I truly appreciate it. To the chat, shout out to the chat. Thank you so much for rocking through. Don't forget to hit the like button, vote on the poll, share this out, all right? So here's one on stage, because we all kind of touched on it, which is the price. So let me set the stage. This is going to be open mic between all of us. Let's try to keep it orderly, but for at this point, we're going to do it the way we normally do it, 60 frames, no lag. So the price, right? The $700 price tag. And myself, and I think a few others, we talked about this price, right? If we really wanted the Pro to be significant, it has to cost more. I think the biggest issue for the PS4 Pro was that they were aiming for the $400 price point instead of aiming for to be a Pro. You have two things. You could worry about the price point, or you could worry about what it's supposed to do. And I personally think Sony recognized, you know what? Worrying about a price point for something that most people are not going to buy anyway. And I'm going to reinforce this with Matt Piscatella. Matt Piscatella wrote this. PS4 Pro fun facts. In the US, PS4 Pro accounted for 13% of total lifetime PS4 units and about 15% of the dollars. Total PS4 unit volume trend did not change significantly when the PS4 Pro released, but average price went up. Succeeded at driving incremental sales to the super enthusiasts, not mass base, okay? Right? I think Sony saw not a lot of people going to buy this anyway, so let's focus more on the name Pro, right? If you're going to call something the Pro, it's better than the base. And as Jay Barry said, all you got was a resolution bump, and that's pretty much it. For some people, that's fine. But for a lot more people, like, if I'm going to get a whole new console, it's got to be more than just a resolution bump. Give me something more. That is what this machine is, right? You're getting the AI scaling. You're getting advanced ray tracing, much more memory. It's a much better beast. This beast is not, and this is the all digital. So we got to compare this all digital to the all digital Slim because, you know, the disc, the extra cost for the disc is no performance related. It's just a disc, right? This thing, like, how much is the all digital being sold for? $450, right? $450. So this thing's $250 more. That means that's $250 more component. Plus, this is being sold for profit. You know, this is not like a PlayStation. And I think we could talk about it in the next segment. This is not like the PlayStation 5 at launch or the PlayStation 6 at launch, where they can subsidize it, because those platforms, it has to have mass appeal. You know, the PlayStation 5 at launch or the PlayStation 6 cannot be, oh, well, if you don't want it, buy it. They can't have that attitude. They have to get people to buy it, because that's what sets the market. That's what sets the share. So Sony can't have the same attitude with a PlayStation 6 or the PlayStation 5 with the mid-gen. Mid-gen, they could be like, buy it if you want to, doesn't matter. We got the PS5 Slim, all digital and physical. I mean, all digital and disc. Those are the market setting, you know, platform for us. That is what sets the base success for the brand. This mid-gen refresh, we're not going to lose money over this. We're going to make, even if it's just $1, we're going to make $1 on this. We're not going to report to shareholders that we're losing money off of each PS5 Pro sold. They're not going to do that. And I will tell you the number one main reason why. People are going to ask, why? Why not subsidize it to get more people to buy it? The problem is, the difference between a PS5 and a PS5 Pro is, the majority of the people who's going to buy the Pro are the ones who already have a PS5. So you cannot sell this PS5 Pro and say, oh, we're going to make our money back in software. We're already buying the software as we speak. We're not going to buy 2 copies of games just because we buy Pro. So that logic of we're going to make it back in software is not a good strategy, because the people is already in your ecosystem. We're already buying the games. We're already subscribed to PSN and stuff. We already bought controllers. Those who buy the Pro like us is just that. Sony's not going to get anything extra other than the actual profit from the console, which won't be a lot. I would imagine maybe 25, 50, maybe even $75.
It's a fun fact. If you already have the PS5 Slim physical, you already have a disc drive for the Pro if you're getting the Pro. What I mean? Obviously, you could probably sell their Slim digitally and keep the physical aspect, but
correct me if I'm wrong, and Forte might know, but doesn't, like, when you insert the disc, it locks and configures to that Slim model?
It does, but you can unlock it.
You can unlock it? Okay, so okay, good. But yeah, it's true, right? The whole point of saying this, and this is where we'll reach out to everybody. You got a $700 Pro, all digital. The bill to get the Pro, they need more money. Because if they would have capped it at $450, just like Extreme said, you're not going to get much out of it. You know? So now Sony had a decision. Repeat the PS4 Pro with barely any upgrades, or put some bells, put some muscle behind this thing, right? And be like, hey, here you go, $700, but you got a little bit of muscle. Now, or do I think over the next couple of weeks, I think we all agree they need to show more before it finally launches, have more videos, unveilings, whatever, really display, hey, this is why it's $700. This is why it's a beast. But even if still, it's just, to me, the way I see it, it's like the 4090, right? Majority of PC gamers don't got the 4090. But that doesn't mean the 4090 shouldn't exist, because somebody's going to buy it. Somebody wants that 4090. The majority is not going to get it, but somebody will. But that's not going to interfere the people who say, nah, I'm good with my 3070. It has nothing to do with that. The PS5 Pro is the same thing, right? Somebody's going to want a much better PS5 than they got now. They're enjoying their PS5, and any opportunity they can get what they have right now and get better, they can be like, wait a minute, I ain't got to choose performance mode no more. I can get all of it. Oh, yeah, I'm dropping that 700. For the rest, the majority, if you're already on PC, if you're already on a 4090 or 4080, 4070, and you already made the decision to leave console because you didn't like how the console generation start out, because I can understand maybe the PS5 and between the PS5 and the Xbox Series X, and some games, games coming 2 years later from PS5, Xbox is day and day, you may have already made the decision, but like, you know what, PC's the way for me. Then this is a non-factor. Like, why are some PC gamers crying over this? You already made the decision to leave. This doesn't impact you, right? Right? For those who are like, man, but I love my PS5 is good enough. Okay, then stay there. It's not like they're gonna make PS5 Pro exclusives. They're not doing that. You're good. Stay on your PS5. If
they're not discontinuing the PS5.
Yeah, they're not discontinuing. Yeah, you're still gonna get the Slim, right? If
a lot of these folks be talking like all of our PS5 base models are going to deactivate.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I honestly think that we're about to see the end of cross-gen with this system.
Oh my God, I hope so. God,
I think that's what I'm thinking is going to happen because, with them moving to another Delta with the PS5 Pro, that's going to kind of make it so, like, can we really make these games for PS4 anymore? So I think I think next year you're going to really see them just cut off last generation, which I think will also help the PS5 because, I think then you don't have to worry about cross-gen compatibility between the two systems anymore. So that's going to be a boost for everybody on pretty much any console at that point once they do it.
And with the exception of Unreal Engine 5, I mean, a lot of these engines, the base consoles handle them pretty well. So, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see if they do cut off last gen, how the base models will flex. And then, seeing the PS5 Pro, like how much more that's going to flex. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be an interesting next few years.
Yeah, PS5 is already at 60 million. So we already hit the point where the majority of the industry should be comfortable with the platforms that are now PC. I understand Xbox didn't go as planned, you know what I'm saying? So it's slow. It's a lot slower in sales as predicted. I don't think anybody predicted this gen, whatever, right? But I think there's you
run for that, man.
It is what it is, right? But I think there's enough PlayStation. There's enough PC.
I know
gamers.
P-Rock for years, man. That's a slight comment right there. Go ahead.
That's smoking.
But there's more than enough PlayStation PCs out there for what I'm saying for games to be successful in the industry, right? Okay. But I think with the PS5 Pro, and this is just me saying, I mentioned this before. And and I would like to get everybody's opinion, especially Forte, right? I think one of the bigger issues of the industry is 5-year games by 8-year gens. The math don't math. Sure, a publisher could say, "Oh no, we produce 10 games during this gen." Yeah, because you got 10 studios. But let's focus on the development studio. How many games can one studio that says, okay, we got a new generation came out, we got new tools, we got the dev kit, we're learning all this stuff, we hired people we can do ray tracing, we hired staff that can do AI, now let's make a game. Boom, you made your game, it took 5 years, cool, let's start making a new game. And then halfway into it, PlayStation 6 is here. And you're like, fuck, like, we're halfway into our second game, so now this is cross-gen, and while we're doing cross-gen, we have to learn the PlayStation 6. Hopefully it's easy. You know what I'm saying? Like, developers as a team, just the actual gaming team, they're at a disadvantage. If they need 5-6 years to make a game, but the gen's 8 years, something's got to give, right? And the only answer is there's only two answers. One, find a way to make development 3 to 4 years or 2 to 3 years again, which is highly unlikely. Or extend the generation to 10 years, right?
Oh yeah, this generation is definitely getting extended.
Yeah,
That's why the mid-gen refresh is so vital. Because
exactly.
Yeah, since the PS3, we've seen these generations last longer than the 6 years, the typical 6 years. They're going 8, years plus. So
yeah. And that's what I think. I think Sony's going to extend this generation. in my opinion, and that's why they're doing
Absolutely.
that's why they're boosting this console up. Sure, $700 today, the way it is, I don't need it. But in 2028, when people be like, "Hey, are we gonna get new consoles?" and there's no new consoles in sight, because the industry tends to do things together almost at the same time. They generally agree on things, right? Like Sony's not gonna go by themselves and be like, "All right, we're gonna extend the PlayStation to 9-10 years on our own." The industry probably has a certain idea that this is happening because, again, this is a whole industry thing, right? It's for the developers, is to get more games made. Because the way I see it, I see developers like airplanes. That dude is not making money on the ground. You gotta get liftoff. So development studios, they don't make money while making a game. They make money when the game's released. And when you can only release one game per gen, you're putting them in a bind, right? They got to be able to make more games. They got to be able to take advantage of that generation. Everything that they invested to, they really gotta, get the most bang for the buck, which is making at least 2 games or more and stuff like that, right? But if you extend a 10 gen and you only have a 2020 console to, let's say, 2030, gamers are not gonna feel that. And I think that's where this mid-gen refresh can really set the bar for that, right? Because like by 2026, 2027, if you're tired of your console, then you get the Pro. That will provide you the more enhanced features, the more enhanced whatever, to ride you out to 2030 until the PlayStation 6 comes out. That's my only guess. So they got to do something with the way that this is. 5 to 6 year game development and 8-year gens, that math don't work. Because we're going to complain about cross-gen. We'll never get rid of cross-gen, ever. You're always going to have cross-gen under those conditions. Because the second game being made is guaranteed to be a cross-gen. Guaranteed.
Unless the architecture is like completely different, like how the PS3 to PS4, you're always going to deal with cross-gen just due to development cycles. Yeah. Always going to deal with
x86.
I mean, like, it was a huge difference from the cell architecture to now 86 architecture. The PS5 Pro, I mean PS4. You see a lot of cross-gen because, same architecture,
This is the first time in console where the architecture is pretty much the same. Because when you look at the past, because of PowerPC, every console is different. Look at the PS3. Everybody says, it's backwards compatibility. Not natively. It was backwards compatible because you had a PS2 in it. You literally bought the PS2 again when you bought a PS3 at launch. A lot of people don't realize that. It had the GPU and the cell processor built in it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the PS2 components, the 2 GPUs, shit, whatever they did with the PlayStation 2. You literally rebought the PlayStation 2 when you bought a PS3, right? And all they did to get the price down with the PS3 Slim was remove it. And that's why you couldn't do it. The PS3 natively did not have backwards compatibility. You know what I'm saying? Technically, this is the first time you have a PS5 is natively backwards compatible with PS4 with no issues. It's like, boom, just put the game in and it works. It's x86. So you are right. We're going to have cross-gen games because it's just easy. It's a very easy answer, right? Kind of like PC, right? PC's how far back is PC backwards compatible? We're talking decades. And it's effortlessly for a lot of games and stuff like that.
Yeah, and cross-gen also is a monetary thing too. Like there's games probably being developed right now or in the beginning phase for PlayStation 6. But they got to make that decision like, do I launch this only on the PlayStation 6 or I launch this with a PS5 Pro where bulk of the audience is there? Some developers might just go with the PS6. Some developers are going to be like, you know what? Like, I don't know, man. I'm trying to capitalize on all of that. So I'll take the bulk of the audience and the PS6. So you're always going to deal with that cross-gen stuff. Unless it's different architecture.
I just want to say, for me, I'll go back to the beginning of the generation, right? We made a few promises, and like many gamers, I acted on those promises. Got a new TV to make sure that we could get the whole 4K 120 VRR and all the other alphabet acronyms things. The TV has it. So for me, the PlayStation 5 has been a tremendously powerful system. The fact that if you're in America, you can trade in for $410, so that your cost of ownership is 90 divided by 4. That is crazy. That's less than $25 a year. So amazing and great. But now, for me, like when we were first discussing the PlayStation 5 Pro, even though I gave pushback to the fact that it didn't need to exist, I did say that if it did exist, it has to fulfill all of the promises that came on the box. The whole 4K 120, the whole 8K, all of those things were placed by Sony there. And I said they have to justify those things. I didn't tell Sony to put 8K on the box. Okay? And I said PlayStation 5 No problem. You couldn't quite make it. It's not an issue. But I did say from Sony's first party, not Tourist, not any other third party, whatever. From Sony first party, they need a game with an 8K mode. Now they're bringing Gran Turismo, and you have an 8K mode. That's what I said. Right?
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. I say these things. The whole 4K 120, I get it. The aim for this one is 4K 60 on most games. That's the target. But at least a few of their games need to hit 4K 120. So when you take a look at all of those promises that they made themselves on their box without anyone's input, and you take a look at the PlayStation 5 Pro, I think it finally justifies a few of those items or most of those items, because that is what the PlayStation 5 generation was meant to bring. Now, again, if you feel cheated, if you feel like, oh, I shouldn't have to pay extra in order to get all of those things, that's okay. That's your prerogative. I'm not here to sell you the box. But for a person like me who invested into this generation with the promise, because for me, my TV is basically my PlayStation 5 gaming screen. Like if I didn't game, I wouldn't need such a TV. I would just get an LCD, LED, whatever. I wouldn't go OLED. I wouldn't go micro LED. I wouldn't go mini LED. None of those things will happen. So my entire, I guess, entertainment setup is around the PlayStation 5 generation. If I was to get an upgrade in my TV, it will only be once a console comes out that would then justify having a reason to upgrade. If in, I don't know, the next 20 years, consoles never go past 4K 120 and VRR, I'm not upgrading my TV screen as long as it stays. Why would I? It is there primarily to justify my console. So again, it was, now we finally get to the point where my TV purchase, my investment that I made, is now justifiable to me. So that's why for me, the whole price tag thing, yes, it is a lot of money. Yes, it is. But this is a luxury hobby. And you know what? You are allowed to game in luxury. And if luxury for you means that you don't have to stay at a desk and in front of a monitor, and that's how you want to experience gaming luxury, you prefer to be on console, great. Here is an option. Another thing I want to say, it's $700 and it's a lot of money. $800 if you include the physical version, which for me is a must. But you're not going to get a price drop on this one. Like, forget about it. If you guys think I'm going to wait a year or two and get a price, that's not happening. This is the price. If you can get it now because you get more years to enjoy it. Don't wait until 2028, okay? And then buy it at $700 only for 2030 to buy PlayStation 6 again. Like, don't be dumb, okay? If you want a gaming luxury, you have the capacity, you have the desire, all of that comes together for you. Just get it as quickly as you can, because then you can at least ride it out. And then when you get to the other side at PlayStation 6 time, according to these amazing trading deals, maybe you can trade it for $600. And again, you will have a cost of ownership, that is only going to be like, I don't know, $25 per year or $50 per year. So,
yo,
again,
you know what's funny though, Extreme? Like, it's real hypocritical that I see people bring up that point as far as like, oh, if I buy a PS5 Pro this year, then 3 years later or 2 years later, it's PS5 6. These are the same people that bought an Xbox One S, an Xbox One X, and then a year or a year and a half later, Series S or X. Yeah. Like in a matter of like 3 years, 3 consoles released on Xbox. Exactly. So how are you having an issue with a PS5 that released 4 years ago, then a PS5 Pro, then 3 years later, assumingly a PS6? How is that comparable to 3 years?
These are the same people that will upgrade from the iPhone 13 to the iPhone 14 Pro to the iPhone 15 Pro Max, and once they get to that Pro Max, they're like, that's it, I'm never going back down. So every year they'll upgrade to the new iPhone and they'll just go for the Pro Max version. They'll be like, yeah, $2,000. No, add extra storage, make it $2,500. It doesn't matter, because all of these things. I had people complain about, oh, you need to add the $80 in order to get in order to get a disk drive. But when it comes to the iPhone and you want to get just an extra 128 gigs and you have to put $400, nobody gives it. Nobody.
Good thing about me, I don't got to add nothing. I've been all digital since the end of the PS3. I've never put a disc in my PlayStations in years. So
It's a virgin, huh? No. For me, I'm
hell
physical.
no.
I'm physical all the way. I mean, technically, I go, both as in digital and physical, but physical has a lot of value for me, and it also has a lot of value for the rest of the world. That's another thing that I don't like. When people are like, "Oh, it's somehow the PlayStation 6 is not going to have a disk drive option." That's
It's got
silly
disk drive,
because
yeah.
80% of the rest of the world requires disk. Like, I know that you guys are in a place where digital is quite, amenable to you, and it's fantastic that we have a open open system SSD solution, so you just can get it for the cheap. But for the rest of the world, like, I wouldn't even dream of trying to download these games on like bad internet. And when I say bad, I'm not talking about like third party like third world countries or whatever. I mean Australia. Until 2 years ago, download it again within me 3 days. So
Oh no, no, yeah. Facts.
so it's like this whole thing where people keep assuming that somehow Sony is just going to abandon the rest of the world because America happens to be more digitally kind of minded. That's not going to happen. So, yeah, so for me, it has to have a disc. That's just the way that I am. But also for the rest of the world, there will always need to be a disc option. But yeah, in any case, the PlayStation 5 Pro is doing what it needed to do. I had the PlayStation 4 Pro, I got it for free, and I can tell you it wasn't worth taking out of the box. It wasn't. Like, I should never have. I should have kept
PS4
it.
Pro was a disappointment, 100%.
Yeah, exactly. And this is something that I've always said. The PlayStation 4 Pro, it wasn't worth taking out of the box. I don't care what you pay for it. I don't care if you got a good deal or not. If you already had a PlayStation 4, there was no point in you undoing the cables and replacing it. This one is finally worth it.
Like in my opinion, this is what I need PlayStation to do in the next 2 weeks before this thing goes to pre-order. One, I feel like the biggest sell for the PS5 Pro is the pisser, the PSSR. They have to highlight that and showcase that more, because that type of technology on a console side, hardware wise, because they said that they put hardware dedicated for this machine learning AI upscaling. They have to sell that more as far as highlighting and showing a difference when this is enabled and all that stuff. And also VR. The one thing that they didn't show in this 9-minute presentation was not one lick of VR or how that is going to get improved. Even though I think VR games look good on the PS5, but yeah, obviously now you have better hardware. I want to see like how the improvement's going to be for something like a Call of the Mountain or GT7. You know what I mean, in VR too. So yeah, if they can nail those points, because I see the third party developers, they're gearing up to start letting people know about the upgrades with the PS5 Pro. You saw Rebirth, Final Fantasy account. They said that more information is coming as far as their update. Assassin's Creed Shadows, they just tweeted that earlier. I saw First Descendant tweet about it. So yeah, hopefully, like I said, the next 2 weeks, they start steamrolling when it comes to showcasing demos or telling people, talking about it more as far as what this thing can do. But yeah, for me personally, I'm there day one. I definitely want to have my PS5 there as well, just to see the comparisons. But yeah, I was sold, because I was sold already when they spoke about the whole pisser thing. But I was just like, all right, let me see how they implement this. And when he was talking about that as far as one of his pillars, I was like, yes, because I've never seen nobody downplay or diss things like DLSS. Nobody has ever done that. It was like, yo, this is great. And people got 4090s that's still using that stuff because they can get better frame rates and sharper image qualities and better image quality and whatnot. So I don't know how on the console side now that's looked as a bad thing, because you have this AI upscaling technology in there. It's just weird to me. But yeah, those are the two things I want them to do.
On top of that, I agree with everything Barry said. I just want to say something quick. For a few other things. Number one, 8,500 games will have some kind of PlayStation 5 Pro game boost feature. I want to know what that does, how well it does it, and how consistent that is across experiences. Because obviously it's great for the developer to go in and put a dedicated mode, but what can the actual box do on its own in order to automatically improve your performance? So I think what that is suggesting is, if a game already had a performance mode and it isn't touched by the developer, and that performance mode was performing at like 52, 48, that should get boosted up automatically by the system to be a more consistent 60. So at least what you're kind of getting out of the gate is exactly what it's supposed to be rather than any fluctuation. So that is already exciting for the games that you may know that you love, but maybe the developer is small and they are not going to go and put in all that attention, or the game is all the way back in the PlayStation 4 generation and you just want to get that consistency. So that would be another thing that I want them to put out. Another thing, some people may not know this, but it does come with 2 terabytes of SSD, which is the same speed as you got before. So that is up from the 825 gigabytes that they gave you before. So that's more than double the SSD space that you're getting, which for most people will mean that they don't need to upgrade anywhere beyond that, because 2 terabytes is already plenty, even if all of your games are like Call of Duty Warzone size, so that's already good.
I don't know, Call of Duty and 2K, like holy shit, those two games are beasts.
Yeah, exactly.
Yo,
like we might need it for GTA 6. That might be 1 terabyte by itself.
Yo, even GTA 6, right? GTA 6, that game might be 1080p 60, 1440p 60, but you have the PSSR technology. Regardless if it's 1080 or 1440p, the image quality is going to be sharp, and it might not be locked to the 60 because you can have that AI upscaling that will increase the frame rates. So I've seen people even use that, like, oh, PS5 Pro is still going to be like 1440p 60. So it's going to look good.
That's what I kind of wish they did.
Yeah, like how
see what people see. What,
go ahead.
Yeah, what people don't understand is I always fought for. It's like I would love to have 60 because 60 should be the standard. It should have been the standard a long time ago. But they want to go with this whole 4K 30 frames, and I'm like, well, if you go 1440p 60. Not only can you get a smoother performance, but you can also get better visuals, because people don't understand. You can have a 4K video that looks like crap, but you can have 1440p and it can look a lot crisper because you got better, texture quality and better map bumping and stuff like that. So a 1440p 60 frames could look way better than 4K because it just looks sharper and you got better texture quality. That's why I always fought for, why do we have to always shoot for that number on the box that says 4K? Why can't that middle ground be 1440p, 60 frames per second? But, once again, it always comes back to what the developer decides to want to do with their game. And that's why I'm kind of hoping that, especially with that whole marker that they're putting on it, like in order for you to get the PS5 Enhanced Pro marker on there, you have to make substantial differences in your game. I hope it ain't just minimal things like, oh, we added 60 frames per second, but we didn't touch anything else. It has to be to me, it has to be substantial for a game to want to have that on there, because I think that's a badge of honor for a game that does do it.
Yeah. They should definitely get rewarded, If you get that label, people should know you've put in the effort. The last thing I'll say is that the console also comes with Wi-Fi 7. Now, I know gamer talk, you're not allowed to use Wi-Fi ever, but you know what? It'll cost me more money than the entire PlayStation to go and pay for someone to route my whole thing, to put an Ethernet plug behind my console. So the fastest Wi-Fi that I can get on my machine is definitely worth it to me. And yes, in Australia, you're not allowed to do any electrical work yourself. So before anyone goes, oh, I can go for $10 and just do it myself and go in the walls and everything, in Australia, you're not allowed to do that, okay? You have to get a certified electrician. That's probably going to cost me $300 by itself. I'd rather put that money into my console. So again, this is one of the things where it's like the box is a noticeable improvement over what you had before. And I'm just excited to be able to see what it does, in person. So yeah,
one thing that I think is, I could be way off, but I feel like this reveal might have been a prelude to, at the very least, the state of play, because they're launching hardware. They're going to want to show what the hardware can do before it launches. And they showed existing games and everything, but what better way to sell a new piece of hardware than to show new games with it, So I kind of wonder if this PS5 Pro was a prelude to like a state of play or something that might be showing up within the next week. Maybe before launch, right? Mm-hmm. Because you want to show off some new games before you launch hardware.
They got to do something, right? They got to show more, right? Yeah. Because I think this is just a start, but I think as they show more content, and again, I think a good thing is comparisons with their own products, right? Especially go after the demanding games, right? Because that's really gonna show people, oh snap, this is what it can do. Go after it, and I think Dragon's Dogma 2 is on the list, right? I think that's gonna be one of the more impressive games that are like, 30 FPS locked, no performance mode, whatever. Those few. There aren't that many. But if PlayStation shows those games with the boost at 60 frames, that right there, you can't argue. You can't argue with that.
Dragon's Dogma is kind of an interesting one though, because aside from being poorly optimized, wasn't that game really CPU heavy though?
I don't know.
Because I think it was CPU heavy. If it was, then I wonder how big of a difference we'll see. Because the PS5 Pro, like if the C-SPAN, what was it? The CNET guy, if he had it right, it has the same CPU. That's what the CNET guy said. If that's true, and some of the games that are more CPU heavy, I wonder how much difference we're really going to see, because it's the big boost from the GPU, not the CPU, right?
I just want to go ahead and say. Go ahead. I'm sorry, my bad, man.
No, you're right. Because I don't think you spoke at all. I'll wait until you're done.
Yeah, go ahead, my brother.
I literally just jumped in, so I just jumped in, so you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Off, I want to say shout out to. You good? I just want to say shout out to Forte and J Bar. I love your shows, man. I've always been on it. I don't think you met me before, Jimmy Harrison, but it's all good. Just real quick though.
Everybody knows
What's
Jimmy.
Up, man? What's up?
Everybody's like, "Hey, Jimmy!"
Y'all crazy. But
celebration.
After reading more about this, it is a significant jump, to be perfectly honest with you. And let's just be honest. With me, it's going to be more of a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. Dr. Jekyll is basically sitting back saying, you know what? Just sit and wait. But I know Mr. Hyde's going to come out when that pre-order date starts to come and says, you know what, you want this thing. You know it's more powerful. You know you want that latest tech. And when I read more about like I know they want to probably go more deep into the PSSR stuff like that. That's some pretty good technology that I'm looking forward to. So I know this is something I'm going to want. And let's just be honest, it's not for everybody. Just like you said, P-Rock, a long time ago, PlayStation 5 is the base. I mean, you're not going to miss out on anything. This is for people like me that wants that technology, that wants more in that particular standard. So I'll be there day one.
Mm-hmm. All right. Let me hit up the super chats and then we'll keep it pushing. We got Tommy Boo. He says, let's not forget that $600 2 terabyte PS5 level Series X. Yeah, that was different, right? And that you know what? I'm gonna talk about that real quick, but yeah, that's a good point. Make it simple. Thank you for the super chat. If PS5 Pro does not play everything 60 FPS, will y'all be disappointed? 45 GPU uplift, but what about the CPU? I think we just touched on that. That's where Sony needs to really have these showcases and show off, right? And
I don't think you have to worry about it. That's why you have the AI upscaling technology.
Just like DLSS, that pisser is going to be an important part, and I think that's what it is. I think they're really riding on that pisser, to pull that R. Kelly and just golden shower every other game out there. They're gonna give that game. They're gonna give the game the golden shower, bro. He's gonna be drip, I pee on you, drip, drip, drip. Everybody gonna get that golden shower. All right, John Baptiste, man, thank you for the super chat. Microsoft announced a $700 Xbox Series X, or I think it's $600. But anyway, Xbox Series X with no performance upgrade, but they were quiet. This is the same crowd that went out and bought a Rogue Ally for $700. I mean, it is what it is. That's the weird part. Like, apparently consoles is not allowed to have premium products and stuff like that. And here's the thing. Electronics. If you want better electronics, you got to pay more. That's just how it is. Right. It's just, it's just like a stock. And again, just like Matt Piscatella, the PS4 Pro was $400 and the majority did not buy it. So what are we talking about here? So clearly it's not price. Because you know what I'm saying? Because if that was the case, PS4 Pro would have flew off the shelves at $400. It didn't. Right? Because I think the main thing was people were like, it's not worth it. I think that's the main thing. If you make a product that's worth it, people will pay for it, but it's got to be worth it. Now, of course, to the PC guys, you're going to build a better PC. But how much is going to cost? It ain't going to be $700. Let's cut the cap on that one. Let's stop selling all these bullshit PCs. All these dudes that are telling gamers to build a $700 PC, they don't actually have a $700 PC.
Yo, facts. They would never do it. They would never do it.
That's why I think that argument is disingenuous.
PC on the level of PS5, man. First of all, you wouldn't even have a case. You just have like a motherboard with a bunch of parts sitting on it.
It's
that you bought off a
disingenuous,
Facebook
bro.
Marketplace, man. I hate it when they say that mess.
Yeah, it's so disingenuous because I'm like, if you suggesting people do that, why don't you go out, spend your money, and you build it so you can
Oh well,
show? They would never do that.
I don't need.
Yeah, they would never do that.
Hey, going back to what Ramon said and what Forte said, and then I'll make a third point as well. I'm not concerned about Sony showing what this can do. They always come through. To me, Sony was never the problem. It's the third parties, and with the exception of Square Enix and Rockstar, even though Rockstar, what they did with the PS4 Pro with the checkerboarding, they at least gave it a good heave-o try to show, all right, we're going to try to implement this technology, even though when Red Dead Redemption 2 was on Xbox Series X and the PS4 Pro, the Xbox Series X version was better because of it was a more powerful system. It's companies like Ubisoft, and I call them out specifically because they, in my opinion, they are a big company, but to me, they epitomize laziness. In my opinion, to me, when I said earlier that you got big time developers that take the shortcuts or they take the path of least resistance. Ubisoft is the first one that comes to my mind. Same thing with EA. EA is another one. They'll do the exact same thing as well too. And so I'm really concerned about this. If I you know what? No, I'm gonna leave that alone. And then another thing, going back to this whole, the whole pricing point, because I saw some inaccurate comparisons in my opinion, as far as comparing the PS5 Pro to to the 3DO or the Neo Geo. Whereas to your point and everybody else's point on here, the price of entry, of $700, excuse me. $700 is not the price of entry to the to the PS5. The price of entry is what, $450 or $400 back in 2020, whereas the price of entry to the 3DO was $700 at that point, and that was a bad system just because of that. That's, to me, I don't think there's no other system that I can think of that was truly dead in the water when it first came out. Because not only was it prohibitively expensive back in 1994, but it got ate up by the original PlayStation and Sega Saturn, even to a certain extent to the Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo. And the 3DO, excuse me, not the 3DO, and with the Neo Geo, and in my opinion, to me, that's a really bad comparison, just because of the fact that, yes, even though that was really expensive, but that system came out in 1990, and that didn't go out, that didn't get stopped. Excuse me, that was supported all the way up into 2003. So that system was supported for 13 years with games still coming out. So to me, even though, yeah, it may have been prohibitively expensive when it first came out, but I can't think of no system that was supported that, for that long outside of an actual PC. And that's it for me. Those are the only points I wanted to make.
All right. Okay.
That's a good point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good point. Go ahead.
Yeah, the point around that is people were willing to spend that much money back then, and it was a lot smaller of a sample size. Now you got people it's a lot of people willing. I mean, you got people buying phones that cost that much. You got people buying PCs and computers. You got people with these brand new systems come out and they're being scalped and they're paying that money to get them. So it's nothing new. Like I said, Sony saw this and they looked at it, was like, if they're willing to pay somebody that they don't know for this console, why can't we do the same thing as long as we give them the value for it? And that's all that really matters in the end.
Listen, man, people, have podcasts and they will spend $500 on a mic, $300, $400 on headphones. Why? Because you want the best quality. If you want good quality on that PlayStation, now they have an option for you, or the best quality on the PlayStation. Now they have an option for you. You got to pay a little bit more for some Pro. There you go.
Man, people spend a couple $100 on shoes. I mean, again, it's.
Oh yeah, I'm guilty of that. I'm guilty of that. You know what I mean? I'll spend some.
Man, I want to be like you when I grow up, man.
I got a couple pairs of Jordans coming out this year that I still need to pick up.
Yo, bro, the most I ever spent on sneakers was like 600 and change with some Gucci joints. I only wore joints 3 times too. Only wore 3 times in my life.
I'm already $700 in on shoes this year, and I'm not even done.
Good God,
Hey, bro.
Rich from my blood.
Yeah,
man! I be getting
I'm
getting a
not,
pair of
brothers. I'm
New
not.
Balance for like $70, and
Look at P Rock. He pay all that money for private flights from DR to you know what I mean? So,
Listen,
bro,
it's all about prioritizing what y'all want in life. You understand what I'm saying? I prioritize travel. I just like to travel. You know what I'm saying? Shit, I tell you.
No,
what,
that's
though,
right.
that man was in DR 5 hours ago. Now he doing a podcast. That's that private jet, man.
I had to come back once I saw that.
You can recline back into a bed and lay down.
Yo, once I saw that pro review, I'm like, yeah, I gotta get back. I gotta go back to the States and do this podcast.
Oh yeah. It's go time.
It's go time. We can't miss this shit and stuff like that, right? But
listen, man, you're gonna have more people talking about the PS5 Pro that don't want to buy it. That's the crazy shit. You know what I mean? Because it's gonna be the talk of the town. Rightfully so. I don't blame you, but at the end of the day, we all know going into this, P-Rock, it's going to be expensive. It's not for everyone. How many times have we compared the PS4 Pro to going into the PS5 Pro? It's like, and then people, it's like, they're so predictable. Like, we already know what you're going to say, regardless of what PlayStation enough. Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. It's not for everyone. Just remember that sentence. That's what people's missing. So
the one thing, the thing that really puzzles me is there are people like, it's one thing to say, okay, this is expensive, because it is expensive. But why would you get mad about it? You know what I mean? It's not like, I could see it if, they said future games going forward will only be compatible on PS5 Pro. Then, okay, you can get pissed off. But
I'll tell you why they're mad. Hey, I'll tell you why they're mad. The only reason why they're mad is because there's not an option. No, it's not because of the option. It's because there's not an option for their preferred platform for a mid-gen refresh. That's the only reason I'm mad. If Xbox announced tomorrow they drop in a $700 mid-gen refresh, everybody's gonna be excited. It's like, yeah, I mean, Xbox needs to do this. This is what they need. You know what I mean? So we can play the Indiana Jones and this and that. That's all it is, bro. If the other side is doing the same shit, they wouldn't have no issues. The other side not doing it, then it's gonna be an issue. Then they all against it. But once that shit is announced, it's over. You're gonna see the opinions change.
PlayStation. It's gonna be real embarrassing seeing the first party Xbox games on the Pro. That's gonna be
the content creation is gonna be lit next year.
That's why you got to. That's why if you're an Xbox fan, before you just play on PC and you can ignore all that.
Let's shout out to Everborn. My man said in April he moved to PC. He was done, and he says he gets to play. He gets to play Towerborn before his Xbox brothers. I'm like, bro. No.
Dude, let me tell you. Shout out to Everborn, bro. I've used this analogy before.
Shout out to Everborn.
The 30 frames announcement for Starfield I did like Samuel Jackson in the first Shaft, where he threw his badge and it stuck into the wall. Like, I boxed up my
I remember that day. He sent me pictures of the DM. He sent me the GPU box, the CPU box. That Starfield. He was like, I'm done. Starfield at 30 frames is like, I'm done. He said he was done, whatever, right? But I think what it is, this main problem is because these moves is still a company that prioritizes their console. Sure, Sony's gonna put their first party games 2 years, 3 years later on PC, right? Got it. Live service games, okay, it's day and day on PC, but they haven't fully committed to PC. These PC gamers want Sony to commit. They don't want this half-ass strategy. They want what Xbox did, 100% across everything, day and date. But moves like these, you still have to focus on the console. You still have to push exclusives. You still have to go after third party. And if Sony can, they will keep it away from PC. Stellar Blade ain't day one on PC. Yeah. It wasn't. Rise of Roman is not day one on PC. So Sony, if they can, they will also keep games off PC, especially the single player, and prioritize their console. And PC gamers don't want that. They want all these games on their PC, no more restrictions. But moves like these, right, that could get console gamers enticed, like, oh, then that's pretty cool. $700, better GPU, whatever. No, it sucks. It absolutely sucks. Yep. I could sell you a PC from the junkyard for $500. Just don't do it. Don't buy it. Just ignore it. No, this is contrary.
The junkyard.
You know what I'm saying?
Yo, that's big facts, though.
But that's what it is. That's number one. And the other group is the Xbox guys. Xbox not interested in doing this stuff no more. They're clearly not interested in going all out for their console. Their console is just another device among a sea of devices that's out there that will get them to their means, right? The days of PC's gonna get all support day one. I think over time they're gonna try to do the same for PlayStation. They just don't have the manpower, and maybe Bethesda and Activision does, but clearly 343, Coalition, all the other studios, they're not built for that. They're not built to make games on PlayStation day one.
They were never third party.
Yeah, they were never third party. So it's gonna take them time to get there. But I have a feeling that's where Microsoft's ultimate end goal. They're gonna want to do day and date across everything. Right? Because the console it's not that integral piece. It's another device that if you want it, cool. You got your stuff. Remember, Phil said it himself. The only thing they're promising is you're gonna get games day and date on Game Pass on the console. That's what they're promising this for. He said it himself. They didn't say anything about exclusives. They're not promising exclusives for consoles no more. It's you get Game Pass is the exclusive. You got Game Pass on console, they will deliver Game Pass on console, and if you got the right tier, day and date on Game Pass. If you got the right, tier model. Because if you got the standard, well, you're going to have to wait a year. And that's it. That's all they're going to do, right? But to them, all these devices are their bottom line. Sony and Nintendo, they're the last two, Mohicans that still believe in their console and stuff like that. And I think these moves, a lot of gamers don't like it. You know what I'm saying? Because, come on now, let's be honest. Oh, my $1,500, $2,000 PC has been on PS5 Pro. Okay, yes. It's literally in the numbers. You spent $1,500, it's supposed to be better. You understand what I'm saying? And I get it. They mentioned all these other things that are benefits, right? Mods, free online. This is why I'm going to call bullshit, though. Like, I can understand the old school PC gamers, the ones I remember from back in the day. But all these new school PC gamers now bragging about free online, yo, you played on the 360. It's your fault we have to pay for online. Y'all didn't play on PC during the 360 era. Y'all played on Xbox 360 and talk shit about the PS3 free online. Now, y'all want to say something. After too late, you made this whole environment happen. Y'all played on the Xbox 360. All these new console gamers that jumped to PC and now bragging out free online, y'all played on the Xbox 360 the whole time. Y'all played Gears of War, Halo 3, bragged about it. Called PlayStation 3 free online dog shit. Now y'all brought free online when you created this monster. It's too late. This whole paid online, I don't even know why we're still talking about it. Hell, even Nintendo, right? You have to pay $20 a year or some shit, or is that some shit different?
No, you right.
And the one I don't understand
so
why
I'm like, are we still on that free online BS?
People got mad when
get
they
out
went
of
to
here.
paid online, but the online got better when it went to paid online.
They called the PS3 and the PS2 dog shit, and it was free. So
and then when they started charging, the online got way better.
Yeah, so I'm not trying to hear that free online nonsense. Half the guys claiming that they were playing on 360 and OG Xbox Live, and they had no issues. But now that they moved to PC, we seen get out of here. We're not dealing with that. It's too late. That's a foregone conclusion. When Nintendo started charging for online, that's it. It's over. It's a wrap.
I definitely think PlayStation needs to relook at that online stuff, especially if you put in live service games day and day on PC that doesn't require the same
man. I agree. I agree. M agreed to that. M made that point. Yeah. It is what it is. It's just you see
that ship sailed already, bro.
Helldivers proved they don't need to do that.
And I feel like we're the ones that are savvy, but the general public who probably don't even know a single thing about PC gaming probably have no idea.
No idea that,
and that's what they're counting on.
But I feel Jay Bar, for your point, right? Because you're playing the same game, you're both paying your $40, whatever they're going to charge for this game, but without PSN you can't play it, but on PC you can play it. I get it, right? So Sony should come to a thing like either make it free to play, which is now free to everybody, or come some type of concession or something. But that's a foregone conclusion too. It's like it is what it is. That's just but those are the slippery slopes. That's where things starts getting sideways for the console gamers, right? So you have to look out for stuff like that because it could get sideways real quick, and in the end, the console gamers going to end up in losing.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, you're raising the price of this stuff. And we're paying out PlayStation Plus requirements to play online, while the PC get the same joint, and it's free. So yeah, that stuff there got to be some type of equilibrium if you're trying to divulge into that market like that, especially if the console audience is your core audience. That doesn't look good for your core audience. in that scenario, in my personal opinion. So
yeah, that's a slippery slope, you know. But I think for some of us, go ahead.
I was gonna say, Jay Barry, when you said about the your console audience, it actually reminded me of why I'm still, even though I've moved primarily to PC, why I still don't think day one on PC is a good idea is because if I own your platform, I want the red carpet. You know, they're supposed to be rolling out the red carpet and servicing their platform holders first. They're not supposed to be prioritizing a secondary audience that's on the periphery. They should be rolling out the red carpet for PS5 owners only. And then later, okay, you want our games, but you want to play on a different platform, then I mean, you just gonna have to wait.
yeah. And yeah, one thing, like Mark Cerny said in the presentation, and you know, in the CNET hands-on, they did say they're trying to blur the lines between the console version and the PC version going there. They want to have like similar feature sets, so the PS5 Pro will have that, you know, all the bells and whistles for like the PC version, but on the console side.
Yep, it's the enthusiast. It's the enthusiast side. It's for those who want to dabble in those without going full blown PC and, you know, with all the shit that goes along with that. So,
You know,
and it's the cheapest way to get it. I mean, people can say $700 is a lot of money, but let's face it, in the grand scheme of things, it's still the cheapest form of entertainment that you can buy for what you get.
You know, but I think right now what Sony needs to do is just over, and I think they're gonna do it. I hope they do it. Is over the next couple of weeks, up until the pre-orders, even beyond the pre-orders, before this console launch, really show through games, right? Jim Ryan said it, you know, in the beginning. Let the games do the talking. There's no better way to really show what this Pro can do by showing the games and show comparisons too, right? And then show some new stuff if they have the opportunity to do it. If the opportunity is ready, show some new stuff and stuff like that, right? And I think, like, let's say, like, I'm just making up a game like Wolverine. If they could show, hey, this is how it runs on the PS5, but this is Wolverine on the Pro, the newer games, right?
Hey, yo, that's
going to be attractive. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. If they might as well show that.
Yeah, if you show,
I'm gonna be honest.
Show
I'm gonna be honest.
Already at this point, you might as well show that.
That's a slippery slope, though, because you got to think about it. If you play those side by side, you're going to have your main model, which is the PS5. You're gonna have to shit on your main model.
Hey,
with your. Listen, I get it, but you see what I'm saying? Like Sony's in the catch-22. Like,
yo, J-Dub.
I don't think that's a big deal for the fact that most people don't care. A lot of people are going to look at that and be like, the PS4 version look good as heck still.
Every year they shit on their GPUs. Every year NVIDIA shit on their older GPUs. But there's two games that would turn that PS5 Pro from an enthusiast to a mass.
GTA 6
and that Wolverine. Trust me.
I'm gonna say definitely GTA 6.
GTA and that Wolverine.
I'm telling you, like, I don't know if it's I don't know if it's gonna happen, right? But if somehow fucking, excuse my language, if Rockstar be like, yo, we got this thing running with AI upscaling, whatever, lock 60, but on consoles, hey, you stuck at 30.
Yeah.
Hey,
listen, I've always said the first one to 60 wins.
Hey, I don't know.
Wins.
I don't know. And here's the thing: it doesn't matter if you got.
Scale, though.
Here's the thing: it doesn't matter if you got a 4090. You're not there that day.
Exactly.
You're not there.
Who gives a?
You ain't there that day.
That's two games you're not there. Wolverine and GTA.
But you see what I'm saying? Hey, I got a 4090. When the game comes out, I'm gonna play better. Sure, whenever that happens. See you in 18 months. I don't know what to tell you, but right now, we not waiting for GTA 6. That's the type of game you don't wait for. Like, what you gonna play? Sit until you wait for GTA 6. Dragon's Dogma 3, like, get out of here. Ain't nobody trying to hear that shit. Especially
if you have a PS5, if you have PS5 Pro showing in a Best Buy in the back of a Best Buy with Wolverine showing, the mass.
You know, but here's the thing.
You still got dudes.
But here's the reason why I'm gonna say GTA 6 is even bigger.
I'm on PC. I can wait. I'll just wait. You gonna wait?
But I'm gonna say
years.
But
I said, you know how? Them motherfuckers is winners.
But I'm gonna tell you. GTA 6 is even bigger only because of the online. Dudes are not going to wait a year and a half to get on that online. You know how far behind you'll be? You know how far behind? PC dudes are going to double dip. Because they're going to get on that online, do all the shit they're doing, and then when the PC comes out, do a cross save, and then they'll they'll continue on PC. But imagine waiting at least 12 months if you're into GTA 6 Online. They're not waiting a year. You know how far behind you'll be? Nah, they're not doing that.
Hey, yo, P-Rod, let me tell you something. They not waiting for the PS5 Pro. All the people that's fronting, talking about they not getting this shit, they doing two things. They saving up their ducats, or they emailing PlayStation. Hey, can I get a review copy? Listen, we already know. And then people are not waiting.
Chrome incognito.
Yeah, they not waiting for none of that.
You're gonna see a lot of receipts posted on the day it comes out.
Absolutely. These people, listen, these people are lying to the people.
Yeah.
Stop lying to the people, man. You know the vibe.
On Twitter and stuff like that. Yep, just like
watch
PS5.
Watch September 26th. Watch November 7th. So much pictures and everything going on. Watch.
They're gonna be walking to the store with a trench coat and shades and a hat on, trying to pick up their console.
But hey, the key though is just you got to show us. Show the games. Show the. I'm telling you, the value of any product comes down to does it do what you're advertising at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Look at the Xbox Series S. It clearly is not worth the $300. That was a full out lie. Let's stop lying. All that BS of 1440p, ray tracing, easiest bar, but 410, am I lying? Now everybody's saying they regret it. Everybody's saying it was a mistake, and it was only 300. Everybody now admitting because it didn't do anything. You
want to hear something funny, P-Rod? You want to hear something funny? You remember when it dropped down to 150?
Yeah,
who was buying it then?
Yeah, little Timmy's broke ass said, "Ma, you better pop that vagina and get me my PS5. I don't care if you got it down to that pole. I'm not trying to hear this. You crazy? It just wasn't worth it. The $300 wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth the money. It didn't do the 1440p. Listen, think about it. Look at what it was supposed to do. It was supposed to be the 1440p equivalent of the Xbox Series X. It was supposed to be the lowest entry to console that will result in a bigger market share of the brand. It didn't do that. In fact, if anything, it hurt the brand. It didn't build the market share. Yeah. Listen. If we had a rewind time, everybody would have been better and say Xbox Series X all digital 400, and that's it.
I don't know why they did.
If we could rewind time, Xbox would have just went out and with their mission statement and then told people that they didn't have to have parity across all systems.
You don't say.
That's my only problem with it. Like, you're right about the S, because the fact that this goes back to the thing I said earlier about PlayStation, with the hope of just because you have a weaker console, it doesn't impact the other one. I didn't spend $700 to be handicapped by the $500 system. That's basically what I always said about the Xbox. It's like, if I pay $500, don't handicap me. I don't care about what the person that spent $300 did. I paid $5. So in my mind, it's not really about the S being a weaker version of the Xbox. It's the fact that Xbox themselves isn't valuing the $500 that they charge people to give them the experience they should get, because it's no reason that they can't cut features, cut stuff to make the S just be playable and give people what the X can actually do. Because at this point, the only reason the X is looked at as such a terrible light that it is because it's handicapped by the S. But Xbox can fix that, but they won't. So that's the whole problem with the S. The S really just needs to go away at this point, because it's kind of like a stigma. It's really a stigma. It's never going to happen, because you know why it's not going to happen? It's not going to.
The fan base are on
I'm going to tell you the reason. It's not even because 80%. The reason it's not going to happen is because when NCAA came out, we sold more S's than anything, because people just wanted to get to the next generation. Mm-hmm. That's why I always said that when people keep talking about consoles are dying and all this other stuff, even knowing that these consoles are still selling at record pace, especially the PlayStation, it's mostly just due to the fact that most of these games are still stuck on platforms that they already have. Once we move away from that, like I said, I think the Pro is going to kind of usher us into that new generation where cross-platform play or cross-generation play is completely gone. Once that happens, you're going to see console sales blow up, and you're going to, because everybody's going to move over because they have to move over because their favorite games like Call of Duty, NBA, Grand Theft Auto, they won't be playable over there no more. So that's when we're really going to see what the next generation of this generation looks like. But as of right now, as long as Xbox still values the fact that the S has to perform just as good as the X, they're never going to get out of this cycle that they're in because one isn't even culpable to what the other one is.
And to add to piggyback on that, also, their competitor kind of made them look foolish because
they did.
Because Jim Ryan, he said a few things, and I gave him shit for it because it was ridiculous. But Jim Ryan was not lying when he said, "We're not focused on being cheapest. We're focused on value."
On value.
They brought out an entry-level PS5 that was $100 cheaper than their competitor, and it came with a game packed in and a revolutionary controller that is more than just a gimmick. I mean, talk about, and then, you know what I mean? Like, and then you have the other side where people are buying your premium console that its little brother is still holding it by its sleeve so it can't really take off and run. Like, it was all around a really bad mistake, and their competitor made them look foolish for it without even trying.
Yeah. You said it, you hit on the nail. It's the value, right? And again, you can't just always compare. Like, take, for example, iPhone versus Samsung. How many times do you hear a Samsung person, why you keep buying iPhone? Like, shut up. Like, bro, I don't want to go to another. I don't want to move to another phone. I just want to buy the new phone, get the upgraded stuff, transfer all my stuff. Boom, I'm good. I'm happy, right? And stuff like that. Sometimes people are like that with consoles, right? Sure, could you get a better PC from a technical perspective and have better performance, all that stuff? Absolutely. You're gonna pay for it, but you can be done. And I don't think, and everybody knows that a $1,500 PC or $2,000 PC or $2,500 PC obviously is gonna be better. But what if the person just enjoys their PS5 and they just want a better version of it? The answer isn't go to PC. It's not. Imagine if I didn't know much, right? Let's say I was a casual. I don't do podcasts. Or I don't do any, a lot of casuals, right? And a person goes, hey, and you have a PS5, and you're like, oh man, that's great, $700. Somebody goes, no, that's a ripoff. Yo, for just $400 more, $500 more, I'm gonna build a better PC. And you're like, all right, I guess. All right, cool. You build this $1,500 PC, whatever. Then Wolverine comes out. What you gonna do? And then you get told Wolverine's not coming on PC for like 2 years. And you're like, wait a minute, then what the hell did I spend $1,500 for? You're telling me now I gotta wait for games? For something like
P-Rod.
You know what I'm saying?
Their PC not even $1,500, man. They in the $2,000 range.
The point what I'm trying to say is, people got to learn to listen to what the gamer wants. If a gamer enjoys PlayStation because they like those games PlayStation comes out with, they like the Wolverines, they like the Spider-Mans, they like the fact that they go out to Square Enix and get those titles, right, from Final Fantasy. They like the deals they make with Stellar Blade and Phantom Zero and stuff like that. They don't want to wait 2 years. Like, you're spending more money, sure, you got the performance, but what's it for? If you gotta wait 2 years to play the games you want to play, for some people it's like, nah, the massive performance difference is just not worth the wait. For some people, it's just not worth it. So you gotta listen to what the gamer wants. If the gamer is like, hey, I like console, I love PlayStation, I love the way how Sony gets these games, whatever. All right, then the Pro's the best for you because that is what's actually gonna give you the better PlayStation experience you want.
No, so the funny thing to that, because you're absolutely right, I've never had a person walk into the store. And if they ask for if they ask like the difference between a console, I never said, well, you should get a PC because they're asking about a console. It's like if a person, so like I'm looking at it like I already know if a person comes into the store, I already know if a person walks into the store asking like after the PS5 Pro is out and you're looking at them both and they say, so what's the difference? Like, why should I get one or the other? All it is one simple question. Do you value performance and the way that the game looks, or do you just want to get into newer games, you get away from PS4? And they'll tell you, it's like, oh, yeah, I was like, oh, it's $700. Oh, I'll get the cheaper one.
Yeah.
As long as they still play the same games, they don't care. But you just qualify that question. You'll never go from if a person asking like, hey, what's the difference between this PlayStation or this PlayStation or this Xbox and this one? I'm never going to say, hey, skip all that, go to PC. Because that's not what that wasn't the question you asked.
Like, what are you telling me this for?
Right.
Like, yo, the nerve. I walk in the store and be like, yeah, we got a PS5. Oh, why are you buying a Pro for? Get a PC. I'm gonna be like, why you say I can't hear you? Get a PC, come closer. PC. Pow! Slap the shit out that dude. Did you hear what I goddamn said? I said, give me my damn Pro. What is wrong with you? Do you go into a Honda dealer and they sell your Mercedes? No, that's not how it works. All right, you just don't completely change the customer's thing.
I would say this though, if a person asks me the difference between, so what's the difference between Xbox and PlayStation? I'll be like, well, first of all, I ask, do you have a PC already? And then they say, yeah or no. I say, well, how good is it? Do you play games on it? If they say they play games on it, I say just get a PlayStation. You can play all your Xbox games on your PC.
You know what I'm saying?
It's just giving, because I'm not. I mean, yeah, sure. I can tell you to get an Xbox, but that's doing you a disservice if you already got a PC.
What you're doing is you're building their world for them, and you're saying, okay, what planet do you live on? I'm going to show you exactly where you need to be.
This is where you need to be.
Yeah,
exactly.
Now, and if they told me no, I don't play on PC, I'll be like, well,
now it's the.
I say,
I'll say,
what's the difference?
It's hard to sell somebody an Xbox in this day and age because
it's not hard. It's not hard to sell nobody an Xbox. It's pretty simple.
Forte, you're still playing. You're still playing. Only 30 frames in 2025. It is hard to sell that box.
Guess what? Just like Craig was up here trying to say 4090s are not as good as the PS5 Pro. You crazy? Because 65% of the people out here don't care about performance.
No, but listen. I'm talking about like the enthusiasts, the people trying to get the
you try to change the narrative. And we're talking about the people on this podcast. The people on this podcast care about that. But the people that
even the casual, right?
No. The people walking in the store willing to trade in their NBA 2K14 for $4 don't care.
Even the casual. You sell a casual on 30 frames in 2025 compared to the other console that's doing 60.
No, you asked the question. What matters to them? Do you want to spend? Hey, what's the difference? PS5 Pro. Hey, you get better visuals. You get better overall performance. Your games are going to look and run better. What does a PS5 do? Well, you want to tell them it's $200 cheaper. You're still going to get great. You're still going to get the same great games that you got on it, but it's just not going to run and look as good as the PS5 Pro. And then they're going to make the decision.
Hey, this console got sparkles with a 2 terabyte for $600, and you can play Avowed at 30 frames a second, 2025.
I'm gonna be real. If right now, if a gamer asks me, "Hey, what should I get, Xbox or PlayStation?" I always ask the same question: what games do you like? I don't give a shit about anything else. I don't care about the specs. I'm gonna ask games you like. What games you like? If they tell me, "Oh man, I want to get back into Halo. I love Gears. I love this, that," I'm gonna tell them, "Hey, Xbox," and then you get Game Pass. I'm not gonna force you to play something when you just told me the game you like. There's no point.
I always tell people 95% of all games are on both systems.
That's it.
You are basically paying for the 5% that come on PlayStation or Xbox that don't go anywhere.
Now, I would tell them, don't get the Series S. That shit is dog shit.
I'm sorry. I'm not recommending no Series consoles to nobody. I don't care who the fuck you are.
It's not about you twisted it. It's not about it's not recommending it to anybody. It's you letting them make the decision.
If somebody's asking if somebody's
coming to you asking you a question like that for recommendation, they want to see what you're going to say, not like, oh, well, how do you feel? No, they want to hear your opinion.
Tell them the truth. I have both.
Every single gamer that asks me about that, I always ask them what games you like. I have people ask me, "Hey, what should I get? Xbox, PlayStation? What games you like?" "Oh, I love Mario." Bro,
you like Mario?
You like Mario? Even in the same universe, bro. Like, yo, you want Nintendo?
You like Mario? We got
no. They're like, I love Mario. I love Luigi. They name all these. They literally name Nintendo games, and they think it's on Xbox. I'm like, no,
they do. They really do.
Like, you're not even on the same planet. Like, you want the Nintendo Switch, and they're like, what's that?
There's a few people that I work with that they are big time like Call of Duty heads, right? And then they were talking about upgrading and yada yada yada. And so I started talking to him. I was like, yeah, well, you should, because you get the better frame rate, blah blah blah. And you know how you see somebody's eyes glaze over? So I stopped talking. I was like, you know what a frame rate is? And they're like,
no,
no, I don't know what a frame rate is.
Like,
so it's like, so the 60 frames thing for the average person,
some don't know.
They don't even know what the hell
That's
it
why
is.
at the end of the day,
And if they have, and if it's a person that has like 60 games or 120 games on their Xbox, and you know what I mean, it's going to be a hard sell to get them to convert to a whole new platform.
That's why
Maybe
I
as a
always
secondary.
that's why I always ask what games you're interested.
What kind of games do you play? Back when I used to work at Electronics Boutique before it became GameStop.
Oh wow, Funko Land.
I used to ask the same thing. Like,
I'm on my PS2. I'm on my PS2.
Like, what kind of games do you play?
I mean, I get where y'all coming from, but it's still hard for me to recommend an Xbox.
See, this is the difference between you and a lot of people that walk in. I know a lot of people like adults that walk in and have PlayStation 5s, and they have kids, and they'll still ask me, hey, should I get them a PlayStation or should I get them an Xbox, or what kind of system should I get them? This is going to be their first system or whatever. And I say, well, do they play on your PlayStation? They said, no, they really don't play on it. They usually just play on their phone or they play it on their tablet. I said, well, what do they normally play? Well, he plays Fortnite on his tablet. I'm like, dude, whatever you get him, it doesn't matter. Yeah. I said, if you want to be smart, just get him a Switch because it's portable. He can take it anywhere he wants to, so you can play Fortnite on the go as long as you got a Wi-Fi hotspot. And he's like, oh, I didn't even know you could do that. I said, yeah, cool. Surprised. That's what you should do. It's all about just asking people questions. I don't care what you buy. That's why people always try to say, oh, Forte, you a bot and all this other stuff. I'm like, bro, people just ask me questions. I just answer it.
And then
you go the direction you want to go
at all. You're in a different position than me when it comes to that recommendation stuff. So I respect your opinion. But even like
you got friends and you're looking at it in this
even a Fortnite situation. Like my nephew, he played Fortnite on his Switch. He hates it though. He hates that shit. He only doing it because he has a Switch. When he come on the PlayStation or
he probably loves it.
Oh my god, he's like, yo, I can't play on this dog. The only reason why he's doing it because that's the shit that he has. I'm telling you, man, when you
but guess what, Barry? Let me ask you this though. Did he know that was that big of an experience until he got to your PS5? Because I guarantee you, he was perfectly fine playing that boy on his Switch until he played it on your PS5. Was like, yo, this is garbage on the Switch.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, because that's
how it always happens.
I will say this to Barry's point. There's something kind of magical about, like, I have a few friends that are Xbox only, and there's something magical about when they come over, and then I'm like, you want to play some games? And they're like, yeah, okay. This has happened so many times. It's just funny. I'll pick a game that is first party, not available on Xbox, and I'll put that controller in their hand and watch the metamorphosis happen. Like, just recently, I had a friend came over, and I had just gotten Astrobot. So I handed him the controller, and I turned on Astrobot, and his mind was blown.
Oh, that's awesome, bro.
I know he's going to buy a PS5 at some point. So it is like, it's amazing to see someone have that type of experience for the first time.
Watching my daughter, she was only Fortnite for as long as she's 13 now. Watching my daughter beat Spider-Man, the first Spider-Man, first Marvel Spider-Man, watching her beat it on PlayStation, then watching her beat Miles Morales, and then watching her play Spider-Man 2 on my PS5 was like probably the proudest moment I ever had as a dad when it came to gaming. Because I literally watched her go from a person that couldn't even control her character to playing on the hardest difficulty.
Oh wow!
And having a great time on the game, unlocking all the suits and everything. So it's something about the experience. Like, she didn't even ask for that system. It was just the fact that I had it. But now she asks, like, "Hey, what's the next game for PlayStation 5 that's coming out that you bringing home?" So I got Astrobot, and she was playing that. So that's kind of how it happens in my house. Where my oldest daughter, she has an Xbox Series S, doesn't care one bit. She plays Mortal Kombat on it every day. And that's all she plays.
That's like us back in the day when we was on the PlayStation 1. there was no DualShock, right? But when that Ape Escape came out, he's like, how the hell you control this other right? Stick?
Right,
Like, what
exactly.
the going on? Like,
I'll take it a step farther than that. These kids don't know how good they have it. I remember the first time a video game character said a word.
Yeah.
Man, our minds were blown. Man,
yo,
talk.
that the turtles on Sega, when you hear the actual talking, or any game that actually spoke, saying words, or he did a little anime. I'm like, oh shit, this is crazy.
Oh, dude, what about in the arcade? Like, this is probably before you, Bari, but like we be in the arcade playing arcade fighting games, and then Street Fighter 1. But then for the first time when Street Fighter 2 came out, and you saw both characters like bouncing, you know what I mean? How they're like in their bouncing stance before you start fighting. That blew everybody's mind to see the characters actually moving before you start fighting. That was like,
first and foremost, Ramon, I appreciate the compliment, man. I ain't old like D-Rocket. You know what I mean? I don't look it. But your boy's in the 40s.
So I'm in the 40s. So I remember
Are you kidding me?
I remember
Are you serious?
Yo, I remember Street Fighter 1 came out, right? And it was whatever. When Street Fighter 2 came out, obviously that was the big scene in the pizzerias, the arcade scenes, whatever. Then Street Fighter 2 Championship Edition, right? That was when it really blew up because everybody was spamming, spicing and stuff. That was ridiculous, the spam, right? But then I remember one day, right, coming from school, everybody's complaining or whatever. I'm like, yo, what happened? I'm trying to get through. Mortal Kombat was there. And everybody's like, what the fuck is this? Right? It looked weird.
Game changer.
But it wasn't as smooth and fast as Street Fighter, right? It was a little bit slow and clunky, right? And a lot of people were pissed. But there was this one dude, when he did the fatality with Sub-Zero and ripped the dude's heads off, and we seen all that blood, everybody's like, what? Yo, we were looking at the owner like, yo, are we in trouble? Like, I never seen no shit like that before. And now everybody wants to play that, bro. Everybody's trying to find magazines to get the codes. Like, yo, that blew up. Yo, when he did that, we all looked because we knew the pizza guy, we kids. We're all neighborhoods. Everybody knows each other. We looked at the guy, and the guy's like, hey, I don't know.
And they're not going to tell you either. You got to figure it out your own.
Like, dude, even the pizzeria guy was like he didn't know the game did that. He's like, well, I committed, so I got to make this money. Oh, well, yo. Everybody was like, yo. And then, like, oh, my God, that shit was crap. Blew our minds. We never thought we'd see that level of violence. Like, in public, we were like, yo, what the hell is this? Yo, it was crazy, bro, and I remember that. I will never forget that day. Mortal Kombat is one game more I would never forget.
That
yo,
too.
I felt like I was in trouble when I saw that. I was like, yo, my mom catches me playing this, bro. She's gonna whoop my ass.
My mom was not happy when I did that.
I was at a friend's birthday party, and they were playing Mortal Kombat. Long story short, like we was broke back then, so I got him some books. He hated that gift, but I became the MVP of the party because guess what? I knew the blood code for Mortal Kombat. So they was like, yo, what? You know the blood code? I typed that joint in.
That was on the Genesis. That blood code.
They was like, Mario.
It was wild back then. So it was a good time. That shit was wild. Let me get the super chat right here. We got Charles Hawk. Thank you for the super chat. It says, day one for me, I spend more money in my other hobbies. 700 is easy. Indiana Jones is going to look good on the Pro. This is bad. Yo, Forte, I know you should. I know you're like, this is so messy. You almost feel bad for Xbox. So, like, man, it's like all.
No, I'm officially waiting now. I was gonna buy Indiana Jones on PC, but now I'm just gonna wait. To the spring.
He's like,
I'm getting it on PC, but I can say that I have been very good to PlayStation because I have bought with the exception of Last of Us because I'm not into that, but I have bought all of their first party games twice. It's kicking my ass. But I done double dipped all of them with the exception of the Last of Us games and Sackboy actually.
Yeah.
So I've been very nice to PlayStation. So I will visit them on PS6.
Fat Boy on PC, right?
What's that?
Fat Boy's on PC now, right?
Yeah, it's been on PC, but I mean that's good enough on PS5. I enjoyed it on PS5. I don't really feel the need to double dip that one. But all the other ones, with the like I say, excepting Last of Us, I've double dipped them all, man. I can't even believe it. I've never double dipped games before, but they kicking my ass.
But yeah, but that PC though, right? It brings it to a whole new light. It almost feels like you're playing a new game.
It really does.
Because you got a 4080, really, right? You got a 4080.
No, I got a 4070.
4070, right? And then you know, Forte got that 4090. He got the
Forte has
he got the God box. He got the Forte
got the Ferrari.
He got the super yacht.
Xbox, listen, Xbox pissed me off so. Listen, Xbox pissed me off so bad. I was like, bro,
you too, huh? You did Forte.
Well, see, okay, so my biggest thing was, I feel like I always had a really good PC because when you know, if you make content, you do YouTube and all this other stuff, you pretty much got a decent enough PC to play games already. So I've always been able to play games on my PC since 2011. But I always prefer console because ease of use. That's where most of my friends was. Crossplay wasn't really a thing. It wasn't a thing then. So where your friends really mattered back then, where you played at. Xbox literally over the course of, I want to say the last 2 years, literally just put it in my mind. I'm like, bro, it's no reason to play games on your Xbox. Like, I'm not one of those people that will say, oh, I'll buy it on Steam. They gave me Game Pass. I can play it in the Xbox app for free. It works perfectly fine for me. So I'm not about to go out and do, spend all that thing because like the only reason I have an Xbox right now is only because of NCAA football. If it wasn't for that, I would have been traded in my Xbox.
That's not on PC.
Yeah, it's not on PC. So that's the only. And most of my friends play that on Xbox, so I just kept my Xbox 4 since I already had it.
You need new friends, bro. You need new friends.
Oh no, man, we play leagues and everything. Those my people. I didn't know these people forever and stuff. But it's just the fact that for Xbox to, they've been setting people up since 2016 with the whole play anywhere when it came to PC crossplay. Shannon Loftus coming out saying we don't see as much crossover between console and PC. Come to find out 3 years later, you see a heck of a lot of it because guess what? Game Pass on PC was your biggest mover. Mm-hmm. So they really push people to that position. PlayStation is heading in that direction, but as long as they still have games that are still, essential to the console and they make people wait for the PC version, that's going to make people hold on to their PCs because you already see what's happening with most Xbox people. Most of them are like, yo, I just want better performance. And you're not treating me with the respect that I should be treated with when I spent $500 for your console because we're being held down by the lesser system. So I just said, screw it. I already had a 3070 and I sold it for like, $400. And I just happened to be, I happened to come across a little bit of money. It was like, okay, this is going to be my graphics card for the next 5 or 6 years. So I just went out and bought a 4090 and I'm calling it, that's it.
Forte, you just reminded me of a funny story. So right around the time when Xbox pissed me off with that 30 frame Starfield thing. So I'm already mad because I try to look at the bright side on stuff, and I'm just like, Xbox looks like they're coming correct, blah blah blah. Redfall looks like it could be fun, and then they got me out here looking crazy, so I'm already pissed off. Then I come across this video. The video, the letters were in this puffy green letters that looked like they were like green fumes, like a stench. And it said Xbox stench. And all I heard was Xbox stench. That Xbox stench. That stench. And I'm listening to this and I'm just laughing my ass off.
Oh man.
Because I think this is one of the first videos I came across of yours, Bari. And I'm just sitting back and I'm like about to have an asthma attack laughing my ass off.
It stinks.
And then that was like just the letters alone just had me laughing. And then when I just listened to that 2-word rant, and then after that I was just like, yeah, I'm done. Y'all got me looking crazy. I tried to be in your PC.
Yeah, that was a couple of years ago. I grown since then. Ramon, I grown.
Yeah, but I came across it more recent than that though. But yeah, that was so I was just like, I got my PS5, I got my Switch, which I'm really debating on the whole Switch thing because I'm still gonna buy my Switch games, but Honestly, I just want to emulate them on my PC. I still buy Switch
Oh
games.
no, man, ain't no debate on that. I'm still getting that next Switch when it comes out.
Like if I can emulate the games, I will buy them still because I don't believe in stealing shit. I'll buy the games. I just want to buy the games to do the right thing and then emulate them so I can play them on respectable hardware. That's all I want to do. I really don't want that console, man.
Yeah, my biggest thing is I like the portability. I can't even remember the last time I hooked my Switch up to my TV.
Oh, mine stays docked.
That's literally the only reason I bought an OLED. Like I wouldn't have bought because the difference between an OLED and a regular Switch is nothing. It's all about the portability of it. So if I never took it on the go, I would just kept the original. But yeah, I'd never hook my Switch up to the TV. So it's like my little companion wherever I go when it goes to like traveling and stuff and driving places and stuff. So I'll always do this. So for me, it's always going to be PC, PlayStation, and Nintendo because my PC's an Xbox. Remember that?
Yeah, like the thing is, like, I don't even think Microsoft had to be so aggressive with a PC push. Yeah, I get that, you know, the sales of the games wasn't the strongest or whatnot. But it's not like you have like terrible games on their platform. You can still have that 360 type energy and cultivate an audience to push more off your console side. And look, now look where we're at right now. You got, you know, Xbox fans that don't even like into Xbox, the console, but you're on the PC side of things. Like, you know what I mean? Like they didn't have to push it. They didn't have to push it so strong, in my opinion. But
imagine owning a platform and then your platform's first party studios, some of them, release games on PC first. Remember when I was talking about the red carpet and everything? Yeah. That's instead of the red carpet, they rolled out the nappy carpet. You know, the one where you go over your grandma's house and she got the carpet that's older than you are and you can see the threads on it.
The one in the bathroom? On the
toilet? They just rolled out the ratty carpet. Like, I would feel so disrespectful.
It's just not a good look. You know what I mean? There's people that been on the platform, Xbox platform for years. You buy, you know, into the platform. You got digital games, microtransactions, DLCs, avatars, and then the console in today's age is just like is the short end of the stick when it comes to Xbox. So, like
the problem. So I've been on Xbox since the beginning, literally. I it's always find it funny when people try to like put Xbox and PlayStation against each other, and I always tell them, I was like, bro, everybody had a PlayStation 1 at some point. Now you probably verged off when Xbox came out, and that was or PlayStation 2. You probably verged off when Xbox came out because that just became a platform you stuck with because online was better and stuff back then. So that was kind of divergent points, but everybody pretty much had a PlayStation at some point. You don't sell 160 million systems if everybody doesn't have one. My biggest thing is for Xbox is I just don't like the energy that they have, but I also agree with what you just said though. But the biggest thing is they just needed to stop telling people, because I don't have a problem with the whole having your games on PC, those are options. I've never had a problem with Xbox giving people options. But you telling people every chance you get that you don't need the console is the worst marketing I've ever heard in my life. It's like I work in retail and I know of ways to tell somebody that something is more beneficial to them without crapping on the other thing. Because all you're doing is actively telling the world you don't need this thing. You're not saying that, hey, we were giving you the options to be able to play your games anywhere. You can get more fidelity, better frame rates and everything if you want to play on PC. But these are the benefits of playing on our console, playing in our ecosystem, you know, and all these other things. They just don't know how to talk to people about the console that they make. They just rather tell people, you don't need this. And guess what happens over 3 years of telling people that they don't buy it. So that's why I'm not shocked every time I see MPD come out and say 32% down year over year, 40% down year over year. What do you expect? They're not going to sell consoles because actively they're telling people, hey, you can play it on your new Samsung TV. Oh, we have this new stick that you can put the new Fire Stick that you can play your games on. And you're actively telling people you don't need a console.
Forte, you just nailed it on the head. Sorry to cut you off. You nailed it on the head. You find a positive way to say it. For example, also available on. Sounds a lot better than no
You
console
don't need.
freaking required. PlayStation has had the capabilities that Xbox has been touting for years. They don't even talk about it.
They don't even talk
PlayStation
about
has
it.
had
Right.
their games on was it Samsung TV? I can't remember what TVs that PlayStation
It was on there. It
had.
was on the Bravias. The
Samsung.
Bravias.
Yeah.
It was on Samsung, Bravia.
Samsung's.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, and then they had the TV stick or something like that. Everything that Xbox they had the streaming via Gaikai, everything that Xbox is touting, PlayStation has done, and they don't even talk about it. But if you're gonna go that route, you have positive messaging. You never want to give negative messaging to your customer. Also available on Amazon Fire Stick. Also available on Samsung TVs. Not don't buy the console.
Yeah, you could, and if you want to go deeper in that, you could tell people the benefits of playing, on other platforms like PC or playing on mobile. The ease of use, being able to log in as long as you got an internet connection, you can still play your same games that you play on your console. But we're always going to tell you that the console is the home ecosystem that you're going to get the best experience in.
The hub, exactly.
Why can't they do that? I don't know.
Dude, they could have did a commercial, and then when they come to that end part, say, take your save from your Xbox to your PC, or take your save from your Xbox to your TV, or whatever. You know what I mean? There's so many ways you can frame it, other than indirectly telling people not to buy your stuff.
Listen,
like that, I have a hard time believing they're that incompetent. I feel like they want to kill it off, because if I'm sitting here and I make less, I'm far less trained than these 7-figure executives, and I can say this. That's why I feel like I just wonder if they're really trying to kill it off, because those are fumbles
it don't really cost them much. It would cost them less if they don't have a console to sell you.
Yeah, exactly. That's I can't bring myself to believe that's
the fear I have with PlayStation as well. Like, as much as we talking about Xbox, I also bring it up with PlayStation side. Like, yeah, like I like the PlayStation console. I've been on there since PS1 day one, and I don't want to see that stuff go away. But we all see this stuff already. That when companies do go over to doing multi-platform, what happens next? They stop doing the dedicated hardware. It happened with Sega. It's what I mean. Yep. We just have these examples there, and people are so blind to it. Like even on the PlayStation side, like nah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I get that. If they're getting money, but at cost of you not having a console in the future, because they're going to see that we can get all this money that's delivering our software, not put out hardware.
And Barry, the scary part about that is you don't realize if PlayStation doesn't have a platform, games like Astrobot in its incarnation would never happen.
Yeah,
like Playroom takes place inside of PlayStation 5. Astrobot, the full game, you're putting the mothership back together, which is the PS5. You know what I mean? And the legacy of PlayStation and all of the hardware is in the game. Right down to the cords from the very first PlayStation controller. The cords are the zip lines. You can't have stuff like that if you don't have a platform legacy to draw from. So I mean, a lot of people they don't realize what can happen if all that stuff goes away. And they're saying, I think everything should be on everything. It's like, no, everything shouldn't be on everything, because that's identity. That's legacy.
Yeah, I want to say something. A stream. You look like a person that was at an Apple shoot. Like the way your head is down, you look like you just took a promotional picture for Apple. The only thing you need to do is switch out those headphones for some Apple Pro Maxes.
Exactly.
And you could be on a poster right now. As soon as I looked at it, I was like, why does it look like an Apple ad?
Oh, yo, that is facts.
I got a turtleneck. I got a turtleneck next time. That's
right. Exactly. That's all you missing. He got the solid gray background with the little what's the name going around of his stuff, and like, yo, look at this little Apple picture that he tried to take.
I'm gonna change out these headphones. They don't match this outfit. I'm gonna go black. Everybody else is wearing black headphones. I feel left out. I'm gonna see what I can do about that. But yeah, now listen, I don't know exactly why the topic how we landed on Xbox, because I had to dip for a bit. But I will say this: to Barry's consideration about PlayStation. PlayStation's business model is that they are a marketplace, right? And the only hardware that they have to deliver that marketplace in people's homes is the console. And this whole time, I've always fought for the fact that Microsoft still requires a console to be present in the next generation, because the second most important marketplace that you can get in a person's life is the TV. Like that living room is that important. The first is mobile, right? That's the one that's with you all the time. That marketplace store goes with you everywhere. And that is how Apple is the most successful gaming company without ever releasing a single game, you know? So that is basically like Microsoft lost on that. I just do not see a world in which Microsoft accepts to also lose the living room. I understand all the arguments and they all make a lot of sense to me. But when you take a look at the fact that gaming is the most premium entertainment medium in the world, and it is only going to get better. And the console is going to be a thing that will only penetrate further markets. You know, now you have Black Myth Wukong, which has introduced, I believe, a lot of people who would not normally take a look at a console in that market to, you know, what a console is. And obviously when Xbox, you know, gets that version, they will also be able to benefit some of that. When you take a look at the fact that you know, Sony just did what the MENA initiative, Middle East, North Africa, you know, kind of developers and everything and the programs to push into those regions. And what you need really to push into a new region is games made by the people that, you know, have those sensibilities, have that culture, are able to make experiences that are going to appeal to the marketplace over there locally. So when you take a look at all of that, it's like gaming is just in its infancy, guys. Like if you compare it to like art, like paintings and everything, you're going back hundreds of years, right? We all know about museums and art galleries. If you compare it to film, you're going back decades. You know, if you compare it to some, you know, so many other mediums, you know, books, you're going centuries. Gaming is just started. We have so much more to go. This idea that the console cannot be a viable platform, that it will all be left to a portables and PC, I think that's naive. There will always be a place for the dedicated console. Sony will always be there because literally it's the lifeblood. But I think Microsoft also shouldn't leave. And in fact, I wouldn't be surprised if in the next 10 to 15 years, we see people jump in. Because at a certain point, the numbers are just going to make too much sense to let Sony basically run away with the market. You know, at a certain point, they're going to be like, wait, hold on. So you're telling me that this industry is worth like $6 trillion and right now there's only like 2 or 3 competitors? Nah, it's worth jumping in. So yeah, I think that the console will be fine. I do agree though that from the PlayStation gamers perspective, the push into PC hasn't really been something that has turned out to visibly improve our experience. Like it's almost like it gets Sony more money, but where's the benefit from that? You know, I think once or twice developers will be like, oh, porting this game to PC has helped us to understand some shit. But then it's like, okay, where is that coming from? Like, is PISA, you know, like a result of your PlayStation Studios working with like NVIDIA DLSS and AMD FSR, and then you're like, wait, I can come up with my own solution? Is that like a benefit that we can say? Or is there just like, no, you just get to make more money and you get to buy yourself a third yacht, and for the rest of us, it's just kind of business as usual?
Good points.
Yeah, it is. Those very good points. I will say that when you mentioned the those hero projects, those hero projects excite me. Those are very exciting. Like I've been saying since the start of this gen that we're in a golden age of gaming, and I feel like it's just going to get brighter with those hero projects because we like games coming out of mostly Japan and the West. Like that's pretty much been it for the longest time. But now we've got new voices, we've got new ways, just completely different perspectives and ways of looking at things, ways of doing things, stories, mythos. Like it really is the sky's the limit. So I mean, it's an exciting time. It's a really exciting time, you know. And whether Xbox gets their act together or you know someone else steps into the ring and throws their hat in, personally, I think the best thing would be for it to be a company that doesn't have bottomless pockets, because when you have to be scrappy, you get creative. But it's going to be interesting to see these next few years how it turns out. And as far as the PC initiative, I'm happy because I get to play these games in their best light. But as someone as that also owns a PlayStation and has only been on PC for a year, I also see the other side of it. And I was and still do say the same thing. Like the number one benefit should go to the people who have invested in that platform because that's fair. If I invested in your platform, I want the red carpet. You know what I mean? And people can say, well, what does it matter to you if other people get to play these games? I invested in your platform. I want the red carpet. If I'm flying first class, I don't want potato chips and peanuts like the people behind me. And that's not me being an elitist. That's me
paid the
saying,
money.
I paid the extra. I invested in this, so I want the bells and whistles. And with regard to the platform, whether it's Xbox, that ship has sailed. But if PlayStation goes day one, I'll be thrilled because I don't have to double dip. But as a PlayStation platform owner, it's just like, okay, well, I mean, I guess I don't know. I guess whatever console I have is the last one that I'll get because I'm no longer getting the red carpet on this platform. So I mean, we'll see what happens, but because it's money at the end of the day, they don't care about red carpet so much as the money. But this will be interesting to see what direction it all goes in.
The Exodus was crazy. That Xbox Exodus, man. This gen, I haven't seen so many, at least from the community that we're in, how so many just jumped over to PC, and it's like I mean, the same thing. Let's be honest. The same thing would happen with PlayStation. PlayStation goes day and day on PC.
Definitely.
The same exact thing is gonna happen, right? When both devices are on equal footing, exactly the same footing, the better hardware is gonna win out. You know what I'm saying? That's
I think it would be to a lesser degree though, because we have to remember the part of the exodus to Xbox has been all the rakes they've stepped on. The promises of power that didn't come through, the promises of performance that didn't come through, the promises of Game Pass, which Game Pass it's been hit and miss. They've had some good years and they've had some not good years, but they've stepped on the rakes so many times. And then the PC day one thing, that has been a major contributor to this exodus. I mean,
I disagree with you. I actually think it would be faster on PlayStation. Because
you think so?
I think faster, because imagine that, let's say a 6080 is coming out, at the same time as PS6, and Sony announces, hey, all of our games are going to be available on PC day one. Are you kidding? Like, all you're doing is selling the 6080 even more, because people are going to be like, wait, the technical quality, the greatness, the justification for this amazing card is going to come day and date from Sony Studios. All you're doing is selling that. And if you're not selling that, then you're selling the cards below it, because people are just going to say, okay, well, I'm going to start the 60 generation and I'm going to move my way over time towards the 90 generation or the 90 series of cards, So I think you're actually going to sell, because then your product is going to be advertisement for what the other person can do. Because one of the things that I have an issue with PC gaming, and the reason that I don't like to invest in it, is that when you buy a brand new card, like a 4090 or something, it's going to take you years before you see a game that is actually going to justify that power that you invested in it.
True.
You take a look at like what Cyberpunk, Phantom Liberty, that's like one of the only games that can really come with all of the bells and whistles and really tax that card. It has the path tracing, it has the ray tracing, it has all of the frames that you can set it up for. It has all of the ultra modes that you can have. And it's only like really that one game, maybe Baldur's Gate 3. And then you have a bunch of like games that are not well optimized that can use the brute force, that can benefit from the brute force of the card, but they're not actually justifying the cost of that card. Now you say, okay, great. Here's another 90 series cards, but this time PlayStation Studios got your back. Bro, even I'm going to PC. Like, I don't care what I have.
And there's also the additive,
that's
right?
actually a decent point.
Yeah, there's also the additive, right? There's things you don't think about until the situation presents itself, right? Like PlayStation ain't thinking about, let's be honest, most PlayStation games ain't really thinking about Xbox. Most of it is teasing. Because if Xbox games was really a big factor for PlayStation gamers, they would have bought an Xbox console. They're only saying it now, only because it's on the platform they care about, whatever. If PlayStation goes day and date on PC, now all the other stuff counts. Yeah. The free online, Xbox Game Pass, the mods. Yeah. They don't care about it now because it interferes. Because now you have to choose. Yeah, if you want free online, the mods and all this stuff, you have to wait for PlayStation 5 games or PlayStation games. Yeah. A lot of gamers don't want to do that. So that's not even a conversation. They want to play Spider-Man day and day. They want to play whatever deal Sony makes day and day. They want to play Wolverine day and day. So all that other stuff is not really important. But once you remove that barrier of day and date, like now you have day and date, now the other stuff is compelling. Because now it's stuff your console doesn't have. Because the PC... that changes everything. That's also what changes.
PC games are generally at minimum roughly about $10 cheaper.
They are generally, $10 cheaper.
PlayStation, like, I mean, granted, it's a year later, or 1 or 2 years. I can't remember when Ragnarok came out, but Ragnarok, I could get it for $66 Canadian.
Yeah, that's cheap. A big deal for you. That's cheap for you.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I bought it brand new,
but like I said, some things like right now, I don't care about mods, and again, the free online, whatever. That's a bridge too far gone to even worry about. It's 2024. We're talking about something that's been happening since 2002, right? Whatever.
Yeah.
But once you put the PC and PlayStation on equal footing, they both get every game. Any third-party deal Sony makes is on PC as well, day and day, like equal footing. Now it's like, why not? You actually get more by switching. Without missing on anything, and that's
you don't miss out on anything.
You don't miss out on anything.
You miss out on
it's not a compromise. There is no compromise right now to choose one.
And I mean, honestly, like and even the like the updating drivers, like is literally like NVIDIA lets me know, hey, update your drivers, or they stopped letting me know, so I'll just go to NVIDIA, click update drivers. It takes roughly about a minute, maybe 2 minutes. My drivers are updated. Like, it's not. I mean, if you go, I hear AMD is a lot more trouble to for upkeep, but NVIDIA is a lot easier to deal with. Like, I've literally had 3 hiccups, and those were game related since I've had my PC almost a year next month. Like, the only difference between my PS5 and my PC in terms of ease is I use my my keyboard to log in to like, I turn it on and then I punch in my password, and then I use my mouse to click on the game because I have my games in folders, and I double click on the game I want to play and it fires up. And then after that, I fire up my controller and it's just like a console. So as PC gets easier and easier to deal with, that's another thing and I wonder if PlayStation is paying attention to that, because the easier PC gets to deal with, the more compelling it's going to be. I mean, yeah, you got the cost of the barrier to entry, but again, like, the easier it gets, and what, depending on those price points and what people are willing to save for, it's a dangerous game. It's a balance act.
Sony treading on dangerous waters. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. But let me do this last super chat, and then we'll call it an end, because I know it might be late for some of you. Andrew Wilkins, the $5 super chat, says Xbox lost every generation they participated. What energy should they have? They were last place third gen because PS3 sold over 250 million more games than them. He's giving Xbox no love. He's like, you lost everything every time. But anyway, hey, we're going to go through the roundabout. But hey, everybody, I know everybody's going to start dipping. But hey, before you dip, hit the like button if you haven't already. Make sure you hit the poll and bow. But thank you so much for rocking out. But we'll start with Forte. Forte, you need to come through more often. Hey, I gave you podcast rights. That means you could just jump in. You didn't have it before. I don't know how I missed out. But now, listen, today you're a guest. So, we made sure you got your drinks, your food. Next time, you ain't getting shit. You better go to the kitchen your damn self and get your own beer. I'm not.
I gotta bring my own stuff, like my own controller shit, and everything.
Just walk in and just chill with the boys, sit down, and do what you gotta do. Right? No invite needed. Don't have to hit me up in the chat. You come through. You hear somebody say some bullshit. Pop in. Pop out, do like what you gotta do. Like today. You're more than welcome anytime, all right? More than welcome anytime. Appreciate to pop through, all right? Free invite. But thank you so much. Let them know what you're doing and stuff. Let the chat know.
Yeah, definitely, man. I really appreciate it. It was always a great chat here. Nice to be on here with everybody. Chat was pretty cool today, as it always is when I'm listening. Just listening to the show, so appreciate that. But for myself, Gaming Forte, YouTube, Xbox Live, PlayStation, all those places, same thing. DPS podcast, we do it every Thursday night with me and the homie Slow-Mo Backslap. We talk about all the stuff that basically happens. It's going to be a really great conversation because I get to tell him on Thursday that I was right for the last month that the PlayStation was going to be $700. So that's going to be a great. That's going to be a great conversation.
What was he saying?
You know, because nobody likes to be wrong and everybody likes to be right.
What was he saying?
Oh, he was saying $649 at the high end, and I was like, bro,
okay.
I was like, you better look at those tea leaves. The fact that they raised that system by $50 when they brung out that Slim lets you know that they ain't trying to lose no money. So, but no, I appreciate it, Porter Rock, man. Everybody just come check us out, and it's always a great time. So appreciate the invite, and I will definitely come through again.
Yeah, this is gonna be a great week for podcasting. It's gonna be.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be funny.
I can't wait to see the Xbox podcast. The salt, boy. Woo! It's gonna be salty, boy. All right, Ramon, what's going on, my brother?
Yo, thanks for having me on. As always, it's always great rocking out with you guys. M, always good to hang out. Forte, it is always a pleasure. And the host himself, P Rock, love coming on the show with you, man. Love listening to you every week. I am not a gaming YouTube content creator, but if you like reading epic fantasy or fantasy humor or urban fantasy, just look me up by my name, Ramon Terrell. You can Google me or you can whatever, and you'll find my stuff if that's what you like to read. Otherwise, enjoy your games and just try to remember that we're blessed to even have these conversations. The fact that we have like a few extra bucks that we can throw into a luxurious hobby.
Yes.
And you know what I mean? Like we got price points from $5 for a game to up to $80 for a game and everything in between. And we got the consoles we have now. We have the ones coming out. Just, you know, my parents used to say it and it used to piss me off when I was a little kid. But as an adult, I get it. Count your blessings. We got a lot of really cool shit. Enjoy it. So just enjoy your games.
Absolutely.
But guess what? Also, on top of that, don't let them lie to you. That man is on YouTube a lot. Come check us. He's on DPS at least once a month.
Hell yeah.
So he's always over there with us. So if you want to hear that man's opinions, another reason to come over to the podcast, because I'm definitely going to try to make him come on this Thursday.
Oh yeah,
to balance everything out.
Oh man, I'll always jump at an opportunity to be on DPS. All you got to do is ask.
Absolutely. Right. And then we got my brother from down under. He's been banned from breakdancing. Extreme.
Are we doing the outros?
Okay, yeah, this is it.
Hey, listen, I don't know if we talked about it, but Astrobot, fantastic, phenomenal. Go play the game. You love it. I loved it. It's my game of the year so far, actually.
Brilliant game.
Mm-hmm.
And I just got the platinum yesterday. So go ahead, we got the platinum also. Took me about 20 hours. Obviously, it's an arcade game. So for people that are like, replayability matters to you, so you can play it infinitely. As well as that, a game that was slept on, Sackboy: A Big Adventure. Fantastic game. If you like Astrobot, you're going to like Sackboy. And that one has up to 4-player co-op. So go out there, play some games, have a good time. There we go.
There you go. That's it. Play some games. And this is your only friend, these YouTube streets, PorterRock77, coming back from the Dominican Republic. It was a nice vacation. Giants kind of messed it up, losing to the goddamn Vikings, but it is what it is. But hey, we got the PS5 Pro announcement. Let me close the poll right now. So the poll I asked was, are you getting the PS5 Pro? 52% said yes, day one. This is 977 votes. How I got 977 votes but 269 likes? Bro, this is crazy. I see how it is. No love. It's all good. 978 votes. All right, here we go. Yes, day one. 52% say yes, day one. And then 15% yes, but when the price drops. 16% said no.
That's not happening.
Yeah.
Forget about that option.
He said forget about that option. 16%.
That's invalid. That's invalid. You don't count. Your vote doesn't count.
He said 16% said no, stay getting a PS5 or PS5 Slim. So 16% said they either have it or will get just a PS5 Slim. And 17% said no, staying or going to PC. And that's the poll right there. 978 votes. with 276 likes. Ain't that sway? Anyway, but hey, on the real, I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for rocking out on the channel. Thank you for coming through. Thank you for so many people showing up, showing out. I would love my podcast to have this many people every week. It was a great time. All are welcome. Your only friend is YouTube Streets Puerto Rock 77, and we are out of here. You guys take care. Peace.